Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing? Welcome to another edition of the WardiTV Mondays, our 26th edition, which means we've officially done half a year of WardiTV Monday events. Hello, hello. Welcome all. I hope you're ready to enjoy some games with us. We're just getting started. We're picking out a matchup, but one of the players for the matchup we picked out is not here right now, so we'll figure that out. We'll give it a few minutes. We'll see where we end up. If nothing comes of it, we can maybe hop into something else. No worries. As the entire bracket is getting underway, we have got 36 participating players today in WardiTV Mondays. I want to say that that's one of the bigger WardiTV Mondays we've ever had. Yeah, I feel like some of the early ones were kind of sizable, but I think this actually might be the most signups we've ever seen in a WardiTV Monday event. So it's very cool to see. Yeah, some of the early ones had a lot of signups, but we're definitely on the higher end here today for sure. As we get ready to go. And it will be Mana versus Percival, our first matchup. Percival just logged in, so we'll get that going. It'll just take a couple of moments. And we'll get into this in a few moments. How's everyone doing? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, loads of matchups happening today. We've got a bunch of streamers online as well. As always, Monday. A celebration of StarCraft 2. A couple of things to mention for today's WardiTV Mondays. First of all, we've got a new map pool. We're going to be removing King's Cove, Abyssal Reef, and Neon Violet Square from the map pool, and we'll be adding in some of the maps from the TLMC tournament, specifically Persephone, Killer's Mile, and Sandworm. And yeah, so we having a bit of a different map pool. Whether we actually end up seeing any of those maps, we may not. We may not see any of those maps at all. But if we do see any of them, that'll be cool. At the very least, it means we'll see less King's Cove and Neon Violet Square, which I think is a win, because I'm already super bored of those maps. So, for me, it's a win at the very least. Hopefully you guys find that cool as well. Excuse me. We also have the exciting fact that the WardiTV Mondays now provide seeding into our first WardiTV Championship of the year. So the WardiTV Spring Championship will be happening throughout April, maybe even dipping into May. And the top 4 today will qualify, with the winner getting an invite to the second stage of the tournament already. So there's a nice little added bonus there as well, which is obviously very cool. Cool. Alright, let me just sort something out over here quickly and kick this off. Mana and Percival are vetoing. Percival's offline for a little bit, so we just need to get that sorted out. Have I ever watched WardiTV? Really good SE2 channel. Nah, I mean, as you know, I'm not a very passionate StarCraft 2 watcher. I usually only talk about the games, so I actually don't spend time watching a lot of content. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not really into the whole YouTube scene, so no, I'm not sure who you're on about. Sadly. As, yeah, we're just, waiting for Mana and Percival. Shouldn't be too long, guys. Percival took a little while to log in, but now that he's logged in, shouldn't take too long to, take this off. In fact, I see a lobby coming up from Mana straight away. Should watch SE2 someday. Well, I watch SE2 every day. I just watch it in game. You know, I'm cool enough to not need to watch the YouTubers. I don't need to watch all these freaking noobs observing and giving their thoughts on the game. I just get to watch in game because people like to invite me to it. You know, I don't have to leech off of the third party. I don't have to watch through someone else. See. Did any Protoss qualify for this tournament? Nope. Neither did any Zerg or Terrans, because it's not a qualification tournament. You just sign up. Anyone can play. It's an open cup every single Monday. You can show up. You can play. No one's gonna, tell you not to. There's no requirements. You can literally just, if you can make a challenge account and sign up, you can sign up. You don't even have to have StarCraft 2, because you could sign up and then just get walkovered because you didn't show up. Please don't do that, because that creates more work for me. But you could. So literally anyone can sign up. So, yeah. That's the coolest part about the Monday Cups, is that the next StarCraft 2 World Champion could be within this tournament right now. Now, that is more likely going to be one of the very top players that we already know in StarCraft 2, but it means anyone can participate. I've always liked the openness of the cups and stuff. I never want to put a limit on it. At the end of the day, the few people that sign up who aren't kind of real competitors in the tournament are players who, you know, they maybe take an extra round. It takes a few minutes. It doesn't really slow down the event too much. So you know. As yo, Shepard PHX, how you doing? Thank you so much for the 6-month resub on the Prime. First sub of the day. Appreciate it. Getting us rolling nice and quickly. We're in the lobby, guys. Percival is just BRB, so as soon as he has come back from his awayness, we will be getting ready to go. We'll get ready to kick this off. Ready, GLHF. There it is. And we are going to go into El Dorado for our opening map. I've got to turn my brain back on over to the, to all the normal maps here. Obviously, we've been doing TLMC all week, so we actually get to go back to the regular ladder map pool. Outside of, you know, again, the few changes that we have made, but obviously some of the ladder maps here, still the majority of the map pool, as we do get into this. So we're going to kickstart in the bottom left-hand side with the red Protoss player. This is from Team Liquid, Mana. And in the bottom right, our blue Terran, we have Percival. If I can guarantee you the walkovers, you'll think of it. First three, it's impossible to have 3 walkovers unless your opponents don't show up. So many Protosses. There's actually a lot of Zerg signed up today. Rogue, Shin, Solar all signed up. Dark was signed up, but I don't believe he checked in. Bet you have a good little bit of variety today in the Mondays in terms of racial balance. I have a feeling today. I don't know necessarily why. I don't think there's any specific reason for me to be thinking this, but I have a feeling that today we're going to see some different players in the top 4. I don't know why. I think one of MaxPax, CLEM, and Hero get upset before the top 4. That's my prediction. Because we see a lot of top 4s, which is just MaxPax, CLEM, Hero. I think one of them doesn't make it today. I don't know why. I'm just feeling a little bit of... I'm just feeling like the spice up a little bit, you know? Feeling it. Alright, El Dorado, opening map, Percival in the bottom right-hand side, Mana in the bottom left. It's just going to be seeing our Reaper coming through, and the Cybernex core coming down. Nothing really too surprising in the first few moments. There's that probe wandering about. And the Cybercore coming through, the Reaper and the Factory continue to come online. And let's just see our pylon setting up. Nexus goes into place. And yeah, just going to be having ourselves the Factory and the Reactor all coming through here for the first few moments. So we get settled down, we get into this. I actually think it's a very fun matchup to start off this first series. Percival's actually been one of my favorite players to kind of jump onto in the early stages of these tournaments, because he doesn't have a great seed, but he's a pretty fun player, very competent, and I mean, last week he took a map off of CLEM, if I'm remembering correctly. If it wasn't last week, it was the week before. One of those recent matches saw that happening. There's the Sentry and the Reaper. I'm just going to be coming back and forth, just going to try and put some pressure on here, try and get a little bit of something done. Reaper Hellion, just going to move about. The hallucination obviously just fades away. Let's just have our Oracle and our Warp Gate coming up. A couple probes added on in there as well. I'm just going to be seeing ourselves a Medevac, Hellion, and Marines continue to produce through here from Percival. Had a command center on in there. And yeah, there's Reaper Hellion just poking across to the left-hand side of the map. That hallucination going to go flying overhead as well. wandering around, just going to be seeing the Reaper and the Heli, and then again through the center of the map, seeing where they can get to. A fleet beacon coming in super early from Manus, so he's going to go for something completely off the bat. Off of this Stargate. An Oracle into a fast fleet beacon, a mothership rush, or are we just going to see something like Tempest or so? I actually more so think it's more likely to be a mothership in the current meta. Heli as the Reaper gather through. We're going to get in here. A few workers going down the other side as the Oracle shows up to no defense. This entire drop shows up to very minimal defense. Obviously, the investment in a fleet beacon is taking up a lot of your money. As 11 probes go down, this Oracle's going huge mind. If it target fires, if Mana is watching it, he has it selected. Finish off so many of those low HP SVVs. We leave 2 of them low HP. Drop now in the main base. A Phoenix in production. Scouting is had as well, as we will get rid of the Medevac. And the Stalker and Sentry combo get rid of everything here. Battery is out of energy. Probes are trying to pull through. Well, this is just a massacre of an early game. 19 probes, 10 SCVs already going down in the early stages. Phoenix lifting. Oracle coming over that right-hand side again. Cyclone Viking coming through. 10-2 probes died then. Honestly, the only issue was that this Oracle ran out of energy. If it had more energy, those SCVs on the other side were obviously in a lot of trouble. That's the problem with an Oracle. It is bound by energy. It has got a constraint on it. So, trouble in the end is now we start the mothership. So, despite all of this chaos and worker death, we are still going to move on into a mothership here and getting into this next stage of the game. So, we get that set up and ready to go, go. The Oracle coming back over. It's going to drop a stasis ward down again. The mothership coming online. Add a gateway, add a probe. Siege tank and a barracks coming up as well. Yo, Kiank TQD. Why did I mess up your name so much? Kiank TQD. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. Going out to Nina Nanny 99. Thank you so much for the generosity. Some subs the last few days. Appreciate it. As our Cyclones here will turn a Phoenix away. The Oracle going to get turned around as well. Again, that mothership still coming through. Additional gateways coming up. Good to see Percival playing. Yeah, he went to play Stormgate and stuff for a long time. Over the last few months, he was very heavy on those other RTS games, but there's not much going on for them right now. He seems to be back playing some SE2. Cool to see him in the Monday Night Cups, and he's been playing a whole bunch of stuff. So it has just in general been fun to see him playing out and seeing what he can get done as the stasis ward getting a catch here on these couple of Cyclones. Cyclones look so. Cyclones look so crazy in a stasis. I've never really noticed the, like... I don't know, I guess it's just the way the stasis is shimmering on the back of the Cyclones. It looks very cool, no? They should release this as a Cyclone skin. I know we don't actually get that stuff anymore, but I would buy that. That looks freaking badass. Stasis, can you imagine just a full skin set of, stasis warded units? The mothership is currently flying across the map and is taking on the Vikings and the Raven. It's about to get a kill on the Raven, but it doesn't quite... Oh my god. Okay, Mana loses his mothership. He nearly killed the Raven! Can you imagine the mothership had actually been able to fight this off? The auto turrets in the end making the difference to keep a couple of these air units alive. And Mana is going to try and make a second mothership here. So, I don't really know what we're doing right now. We're in a little bit of a crazy starting point. The mothership on the way up now on this main base. Stasis wards coming through as we set up defense. The fact that Mana's just lost a mothership to me means that Percival should be able to push and win this game, but we are not making any movement there just yet. As we have these Cyclones, the Cyclones, the Raven, the Marines, and the tanks coming. I guess Vikings will be coming too. This should be a very difficult defense for Mana. He has nothing, and he has no tech. No tech really is the issue. He has units, but he doesn't have any tech on these units. There's no charge, there's no blink. There's no robo support or anything like that. There is a Raven, so the stasis ward won't do much here either. And Stim is about to finish for a Terran player, as Mana's about to get his next mothership out. As the Oracle comes back in, he has been killing SCVs with that Oracle throughout, and there's going to be another of those situations, and Mana gets baited forward by the Cyclones locking on. I have no idea how you break out of this. I guess we're going to recall over here and then maybe jump on the tanks. It's not going to work, but it's the most stupid attempt I'm going to see. Wait, is it going to work? I wait with bated breath. I don't know how... Oh my god! It works! We break out of the contain! No way! That might be the well, that might be one of the best. How don't you even... I mean, I don't even understand. I understand we go on top of the tanks, but like, there was a stimmable bio army. And there's no micro potential in this Protoss army. What did we do, Percival? How do we not win that fight? That is absolutely stupid. The mothership rush into offensive recall to break through the contain. There's going to be drops coming across the map. We don't have a great way of dealing with that. I mean, Mana's got the army supply advantage right now. I will once again reinstate the fact that this is going to be a very difficult fight because he still has no tech in the army. He's just on cheap, easy to gather units. So, yeah, and they don't have any of their upgrades. So they're definitely not ideal as the Marines drop into the main base. I mean, Mana's going to be forced to be pretty much all in going across the map here. The second tank should be sieging ASAP from Percival. There's no reason for Mana to wait around. He's just going to go, go, go. It's full base trade mode for him. And in we do go. So the first tank goes down. The second tank is not going to last super long. So we are going to be able to take that out. And then it's just SCVs here. There's a few Marines as well. Mana's army supply is genuinely holding on. There's another tank on the high ground. I mean, like, I don't think Mana should win this, but his army actually did way better than I ever thought it might. Junk goes down as well, and Mana is what, 56 to 76 supply. I can't believe the mothership. That was crazy. As the Marines are going to come dropping on top of this Tempest right here. That's going to go down. The View Stalkers are going to get chased away as well. And these Marines are going to go and grab themselves the Tempest as well. I mean, this really should just be an army from Percival that should always win out, but I thought that beforehand too. I can't believe the mothership was so good. My favorite part is that was the second mothership of the game. It's 11 minutes and we've had 2 dead motherships already. Can you imagine he didn't lose the first mothership, how much better off he might have been? I mean, obviously he lost so many workers in the other game too. The entire game could have been so different. A couple of Vikings head around the bottom side, the medevac's coming up. Add a couple of barracks in there, the concussive shells coming through on the barracks as well. And somehow Mana is still the one finding the kills here. Remember, these Stalkers don't have blink, so this is not just a like, oh yeah, I can just blink away from trouble. This is very much so, and the only way out of this is GG. Percival takes game number 1, but I don't know how to really explain that to anybody. That might be good enough to put us back in the YouTube Shorts business. Jesus. That's a funny one. 2 motherships and no blink. But yeah, how are you going to afford blink if you've made 2 motherships in the game? you know? It worked. I mean, did it work? I mean, the first mothership just died. So whatever the plan was there just went wrong. We're going to go into ley lines for map number 2. As we get ready for our second game. The breakout worked with the mothership, but like I said, I mean, if the first mothership... I genuinely wonder what would have happened if the first mothership had gotten across the map. Because the fact he broke out of that siege contain with the second mothership makes me feel like the first mothership recalling into the main base might have worked. Let's see what Mana has in store for us on ley lines, because at this point I've actually got no idea whether to expect something normal, because he's had his kind of meme game and it didn't go well, or if he's just going to try something utterly ridiculous for a second game in a row. In the top right hand side, our red Protoss player from Team Liquid, this is Mana. Up against the blue Terran. In the bottom left, we have Percival. So a couple of refineries set up. We see the assimilator coming down from Mana on the other side. Gateway and the barracks coming through. SCV and a probe. This probe of Mana coming across as well. Forge on the way, adding the simulator into play as well. Just going to bring both of these up and online. The Forge and that Cyber Core continue to come on through. The probe just going to sit here for Mana. As that pylon is going to finish in a few moments' time. Drop down the cannon. Again, the orbital, the factory, the Reaper, all continuing up. The orbital is about to finish right away there. There's a couple of assimilators coming through. And that Reaper going to pop out. It's going to be coming across towards the left, and is going to start going after the cannon here, which is protecting the Stargate. So, once again, Mana is off on a crazy start with the Forge. A proxy Stargate. The probe goes down. The battery is in trouble. But the cannon is up, so now you protect everything. So the Reaper can't deny this. So the cannon protects the proxy, something you don't see every day. Stargate is about to finish, and we do have the Reaper heading into the main base in the next few moments. A couple of Marines coming up. The Adept is going to be right there. The grenade keeps the Adept away, and Reaper just going to go a little bit of a different direction. This probe still coming down the left-hand side. Did he cancel a starport, or did he accidentally build a second factory? I'm not sure. Well, starport coming up. Obviously, the big news here is that, you know, as Percival, you know about this. I wonder if Mana wants to try and pile on and cannon / battery a more forward position. Fleet beacon at home. So we're going to turn this into a Tempest-based situation, I guess. As the Void Ray activates the Prismatic, but that's not in reach of the Cyclone, so we're not going to be able to get much done there. Void Ray coming back over. Again, the Cyclone locking on again. The Marines coming through. The Void Ray pulls back. The battery's out of energy, though. And even with the cannon, I don't think this is going to be enough, as Percival just gets down here. New battery's not ready. New units are not ready. I think this one is going to be a 2-0 as Percival breaks on through and finds himself a second game of this best of 3. This one, not quite as exciting as the first, unfortunately for Mana. Turns out a cannon is not overpowered. Who knew? Credit to Percival, because actually I do feel like attacking into that is a little scary. Like, a cannon and so on, like, I'd think twice about it. Like, static defense, shouldn't attack into static defense. That's what he wants you to do, right? But he found the power, and he found the way in. GG's. Of 2020, thank you so much for the 19-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. As we get through our first matchup of this Monday, Skillers and Rogue have not started. Perfect. Let's go Skillers versus Rogue, guys. Well, it's that, or Shin vs. Creator, or ByuN vs. Classic. Oh my god, so many good matches today. I'm going to go Skillers Rogue because I can see they've not started. Yeah, I can see they've not started. And there's a Zerg. I don't know if Shin Creator are already in game. I don't want to hop server. They're in game, hop back, miss this game, etc. So, yeah, try and avoid those complications. So yeah, we'll just go Skillers versus Rogue for our next series here, guys. That's going to be what we head straight on into in just a few moments. As, yeah, a lot of this bracket getting sorted out. Solar versus Bunny going to happen. Man, the round of 16 today is stacked. Solar versus Bunny, Rogue versus Skillers, ByuN versus Classic, Shin versus Creator. And those are just the games that are already starting. Percival is going to play Hero or Defi. Most likely MaxPax versus Rio or Nice. Most likely Kua versus Jumi or Shameless. Nicarak and Multicow versus CLEM. Like, the round 16 is stacking up today for sure. Looking like a good one. Alright, yeah, today's WardiTV Monday is already very exciting. Alright. So, we'll just take a moment and get ready for this skillless rogue matchup. I believe they are in the process of vetoing, and we can get on into this. Awesome. Again, how's everyone doing today? Hope everyone is feeling good. You're enjoying the stream so far. Don't forget, on the YouTube, you can hit the like, hit the sub button. We're actually 2 subscribers away from 45,000 on the YouTube, so you check that out. And like I say, don't forget to give it a like as well while you're there. Helps us out a whole bunch. Allows us to do a whole lot more. Exciting, exciting. Alright. Did the YouTube subs go down? I have no idea. But it's at 44,998 right now. Was that 45,000? I haven't seen it at 45,000. That's just what I saw when I opened it earlier on already. Amygdala, gonna be our opening map of Skillless versus Rogue. You know, I will see this map pool change as a win, because even if we don't see the new maps, we will get to see more of the other maps. And to me, that's great already, you know? That's just fine. I'm completely okay with that, you know? As yo, Catler's God, thank you so much for the 77-month resub. Appreciate it. We are shuffling our way over towards 700 subs again as well, guys. So if you're loving the stream, help us to shuffle towards 700 subbies on the Twitch as we get ready to go into Amygdala here in just a moment. Let's kick this off. In the bottom left-hand side, our blue Protoss player. This is from Team Liquid. We have Skillless. Up against the red Zerg. In the top right-hand corner of the map, we have got Rogue. Game 1 of this best of 3. As we get up and rolling, we get underway. And excited to see a bit of Skillless Rogue. Rogue's been playing well lately, actually. I think he's been playing some cool games of StarCraft. I've been enjoying watching him. Obviously made it to the round of 8 of our TLMC event, where unfortunately he did fall, but it was cool to see him in that round of 8 and just getting out of his group and looking good up until that point. So, yeah, excited to hop in and figure out a little bit of what this series is going to be all about. Drone going to chase, probe getting hunted around, gateway coming through, about to finish up. The next is on the way from Skillless as well. And we do have that probe still being chased as the drone continues to nibble over also. Again, that drone just nibbling at the probe, chasing it over to the sides. Cybercore coming through, the assimilator coming up. Couple of those drones just go jumping into the extractor again, put the link speed on to play on the spawning pools. We get that coming up, but also a Stargate from Skillless, a Nexus added on, and the Adept, add the probe. And that link is going to try and go after a couple of those probies, so probe's still taking damage. Chrono boosting away here, just get that link speed coming out. Obviously, the Stargate going to be a fun option for Skillless here. We'll see what he wants to do with it exactly. I say fun, I mean, it's a very standard option, but I think standard is fun because I want to see Skillless, if he plays standard, how he approaches, you know, someone as hectic and as crazy as Rogue, who can really play a whole bunch of different styles. You know, what does, you know, how does that match up? How does that really go in the end? Is my intrigue at the moment, I guess, so. Let's see, like I say, how that's going to be continuing through. Just got ourselves the Void Ray going to be finishing very shortly. Still got that Warp Gate coming up with that. So the Void Ray first is going to be able to deny a lot of Overlords, so scouting for Rogue is going to be pretty limited in this game, so that's one thing we can keep in mind here as well. With that limited scouting, like I say, there's always that chance that things go a little bit haywire and they get thrown a little bit off from your typical expectation of what's about to happen and so on. The Nexus dropping down, and again, just having the Void Ray moving out. The Oracle still moving over as well. So far, so good. Next is Gateway. Again, the Oracle and the Warp Gate. So a little bit of everything coming through here currently. Now, as the lag continues online as well, we are going to see a bit of tech coming in from Rogue. The Void Ray pulls back over, tries to get this Overlord. That means you will be able to scout through here as Rogue. You will see another Gateway. You'll see the Oracle coming up, so you get some info. The tech structure of the Twilight Council came down in the natural as well, so you also got to see that. So Rogue really sees everything, but to be fair, it's not like the Twilight Council is a big surprise. Obviously, seeing an extra Oracle gives you some info there. I think the Twilight Council being seen as a good confirmation, but it was very much so the expectation anyway. I mean, what else are you going to go into after a Stargate opener? Robo doesn't really make much sense in this matchup, so yeah, by the power of deduction, that scout is probably not super worthwhile, but it's always good to see something, right, as well. I mean, maybe it could have been some crazy second Stargate play, and, you know, seeing the gas there takes away some of the opportunity of something along those lines, so confirmation is confirmation. We'll take it, we'll never complain. As the fewer devs are going to threaten the Shade in, they're not going to go for it though, just going to sit here and take out Creep Tumors, thanks to the revelation of those Oracles. And they wanted one more, but decides it's just not worth it. It was not an active one, and I wonder if that maybe is part of the decision behind just deciding to back away instead of trying to push the issue. And Oracles and the Adepts gathering together, and we do have those two Oracles heading to the top side. A couple of Queens are going to be in position. We activate onto a couple of Creep Tumors here. Two Creep Tumors going down. A third a kill there was a drone. So Oracle's fairly okay, but they're kind of low on energy again, so it might be nice to just go home, grab an energy overcharge on one. Just give them a bit more energy to work with. The Lings are going to poke. Rogue is a very high counterattack heavy player, so when you play against him here as Skillers, you want to try and be as cautious about that as you possibly can. So if you can take a little bit of precaution, if you can try and make sure you're not going to be vulnerable to run-bys, I think that's going to do a lot towards helping you out and helping you to stabilize throughout these games. A couple of Oracles poking about. We pull away again. The Blink is still coming up. A few Lings running around the bottom side, and the Void Ray gets on top of those pretty quickly. Yo, Fiskers, thank you so much for the 6-month resub on the Prime as well. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for priming us up. Thank you, thank you. Storm and the +1 attack upgrade coming through. Add a few cannons onto that also. So additional gateways down in the main base. And that Lurkatan is coming up here on the side of Rogue. So Lurkatan coming in from Rogue. We get that ready to rumble. Get that up and rolling. Rogue showed a few different styles of play in his CVPs over the last week or two, playing quite a few aggressive styles, but then also this Lurker style is one that he likes to go into as well. Showcased some mutas in a couple of games too. Yeah, Rogue's been pretty good at mixing up his different ways of setting up in this matchup. So that was one of the frustrations playing someone like Rogue. He plays very chaotically in the first place, and then he very rarely plays in the same way twice. So it's really hard to kind of get your feet under you in a matchup against Rogue because you're constantly adjusting to how he's approaching it. And you're constantly having to deal with that kind of a factor as well, as these Stalkers and these Hydras will start out by fighting. The Storm comes down. We're just going to see a couple of Hydras getting shaved at with that Storm in place. Lurkers and the Hydras and the Lings all still gathering up. We're just going to be seeing, obviously, Rogue really trying to press the issue here. So trying to come in very quickly. I think is the most notable part, like really pushing his Lurkers into position. These Lurkers don't even have their upgrades yet, so pretty much like the fastest aggressive attack we can bring with the Lurkers. Skillus is doing the right thing of just playing this calmly and patiently. Patience is his #1 friend right now. Like, patience is absolutely the way he's going to succeed here. If there's a way he's going to succeed. So, just play it slow, try and pick away at a couple of things here and there. The Lurkers, again, they don't have range, so they're not all hitting when maybe they oftentimes would have been. So there's a little bit less efficiency there for Rogue than what he might be used to getting with these Lurkers. And again, it's just the speed at which he wants to get them in position. The benefit being that once that upgrade finishes, he's already in position with the Lurkers. Storm or 2 here is not exactly super exciting. Like I say, that Lurker range is going to make this a lot easier. Using the Lings just to push the army back, and it lets the Lurkers step up on the right-hand side and begin to contain this base a little bit more heavily. And you got to say that, well, feels like one a bit of a timing here is Skillus. Because the longer that this goes, the more trouble he's going to be in as Rogue continues to tighten the noose around this 4th base. Mothership going to show up with the cloaking. Do we have any overseers? No! The cloaking on the Mothership is going to be what allows us to push the Lurkers back for free. And Rogue just didn't have overseers ready. Now recognizing, okay, well, Tempests are coming out in numbers. I'm going to need some further tech myself. He is going to start up the Spire, so he gets that on the way. Another Storm hitting those Lurkers again, but the Lings and Hydras going to get forward. I was going to say, there is a Storm left. The way we were running, it didn't feel like there was. We run into the Time Warp. So the Hydras run into the slow zone, and they get stormed in there off the last storm, and that found a lot of additional value. Skillus realizing the chance to add 2 more Stargates and to really extend his play into something that a little bit better here. It's another handful of Lurkers that are just going to morph right on in. The Ling's going to go over the left side. We do have detection, so we actually are killing High Templar. 2 went down, a 3rd was super low. Those High Templar are battered and bruised at the moment. We got a few extra Tempests coming about. We got the cannons coming online, +3 attack, +1 air weapons. We are going to knock our way through this set of rocks in the center here. It's just going to clear that out as well. Spire's finished up on the back. Rogue has not got a ton of money to spend right now, but I think he's got about 1,000 gas. I wonder if he's just deciding if he needs Corruptors right now, if he wants to go into something else still. Couple of times it's going to be firing these Lurkers that left behind, so going to get taken out as well. Rogue, 14 Corruptors in the production tab here. Couple Lings getting chased away. And as the Lings gather, battery goes down, the pylon's going to get jumped on. I just feel like Skillus' army should be winning fights, but obviously we'll see how the engagements go. Like, I like his army comp. He's in the right place to deny Lurkers. Lurkers going to unburrow and actually chase forward because the Corruptors are coming through. Storm on the Lurkers. I need to make sure the Corruptors are going to be one of the focuses here as the more extra round of Storms come down. Is that good enough? The Corruptors currently working their way through just whatever's in reach, which at first was the Mothership. Then he turned attention to the Tempest. Now the Corruptors taking a bit more of a beating. Rogue just getting absolutely slapped around at the moment. This is on the gold base. We do see the units chasing to the upper left-hand side. The few Corruptors here. They get to the corner and clean out a Prism at least. The entire army is obviously chased up here, and the Corruptors is going to keep on trying to hide away for a little bit. And Lurker's doing well, just going to step further forwards again. The Corruptor's going to turn onto the Mothership. Do we have the damage to get through that? I think we do, and the Stalker's obviously stuck in this corner. We're going to go for the recall. Oh my goodness, we lost so much. Pretty much everything died on the ground, and all but 2 Tempests die in the sky. Zelts on the right side, going to get rid of the hatchery. The Corruptor still going through. The Oracles, the Tempest, the Zelts, and the Stalkers continue to push up as well. We are going to be seeing the Corruptors getting back onto this Tempest, and Skills just has to say GG. He gets out-positioned by Rogue. Chasing the Corruptors into that upper left side and not recalling sooner was a major mistake, because he recalled at the point where he was already dead. Like, reactively recalling to it being like in an oh shit moment is not good enough. As a Protoss, you know, army positioning is so important, and being backed into a corner against Lurkers like that is anything but ideal, to say the least. Anything but ideal. Yo, Bunny and Solar are actually playing on one of the new maps as well over on Steadfast's channel. Just checking around to see what else is going on. But yeah, Solar and Bunny are playing on Killer's Mile, so that's really cool. Nice. You know, some of the new maps actually getting put into play. That's actually genuinely a pretty good new map as well, I think. I think that's going to be giving us some good games. Oh, that's cool. That's nice to see people actually playing on some of the other maps. I'm going to hop around a couple streams, just see what's going on. Nice and MaxPax are currently playing on Coca's stream. Rex is watching that one as well. Crank is streaming today. What's Crank casting? He's on the bracket page. Maybe waiting for something. I think the Ducklings are in this series with us. Yeah. Very cool. Alright, we're going to be going into Sandworm here in a few moments. And that's exciting too, because this is actually one of our new maps as well that's also made it through here. So cool stuff. We're actually going to see some of the new maps actually being used. Amazing. That's great. I love it. Alright. In the bottom left-hand side, we're going to have ourselves the blue Protoss player. Down a game, representing Team Liquid is Skillus, while in the top right on Falcons, it is Rogue, our red Zerg. I really feel like Rogue's playing well at the moment. I feel like he's playing some of his strongest StarCraft 2 that we've seen him play. He's playing as Rogue is meant to play, but playing pretty well too. Couple drones coming up. Probe on the way. Overlord of Rogue heading across the map. So let's moving around, the gate and the gas coming online. We get all of this settled through as the hatch and the gas comes up as well. If you didn't watch the TLMC over the last week, this map kind of fun. So you got Roxy can break on either side. This area here is difficult to move through. So small units can move through, but in general, like units are just gonna have a tough time moving directly through the center. So change it up a little bit. These little things are used elsewhere to choke up certain ramps. There's also some rocks you can break down to, like I say, open the map or open certain ramps up. And the other thing of immediate interest is the gold base, which you can build a base in location here before clearing out the rocks. But obviously the minerals are blocked from being mined until you then clean out the rocks. So you can put your base down ahead of time. Just putting your base down is not necessarily going to be something which is You know, that just doesn't give you the mine until the rocks are gone. So it's just basically a don't take this base as your first base of the game as a Zerg mechanic. It's a cool way of doing it. Obviously, sometimes you put rocks just to block a gold base. But that benefits a Terran who can float over the CC and land it as soon as you kill the rocks, whereas Protoss and Zerg can't do that. So this is a bit of a better way of making that happen. Pulling back, a couple lings coming over. There's the yeah, Adept's gonna be there, chasing the ling around a little bit. Again, the ling speed, a few drones and queens coming up. The Adept's gonna be there to pick at that crypt tumor as well. Next coming up, probes in the warp gate coming through. Let's see that's getting chased away. Warp gate continue to come through. Let's get ourselves the Twilight and the Forge coming up, the gate coming online, we get the extra Zerglings coming through as well. This will crawl in position to deal with the Oracle as now the Lings get to stream across to the other side of the map, so they're going to go down toward the bottom left hand side. And the Oracle going to be right there, Twilight Council and Forge continue to get going too. Again, it's going to see those Oracles activate and a few Zerglings getting picked away at. 3, 4 Lings going down very quickly. Queens is going to be there. Again, a couple of drones going down. We will see the additional drones getting pulled away. So this is a lot of lost mine time. So good start from Skillers. The Lings come back. The Adept will die, sure, but we'll even get the Creep Tumor! No, spreads it right into the path of the Adepts. Gives him more damage for no reason. Lings, I'm just going to come about. The Oracle's getting turned around the other side. Still just going to step up the top again. +1 blink coming through. The extra gates and the probes coming about as well. And the Oracle's going to get going, so Skillers trying to capitalize off of a good start with Blink finishing soon. Ready to go, go, go. It's coming across, Stalker's going to be shooting, it's going to be seen an Nexus coming down that gold base location. So like I say, you can build the Nexus and then you can hit the rocks down after. So a perfect example of that being used straight away here is Skillers. Just opens up the center. These are shared HP pool rocks as well. They're all connected, so you don't have to take down all, you know, it looks like 4 separate little piles. You just get rid of all 4 at once. They are shared HP pools, so we take that out. And yeah, this gold base from Skillers is a 4th coming online. Now Rogue taking a 4th in the bottom right side. He's not going to go for that gold just yet, but may consider it soon, considering you see Skillers taking it. But it is in a forward position, which is easy for the Stalkers to hit into. Alan comes to the front, the Lings gather around again, +1 missiles, the Bane speed coming up as well, so we just keep that tech rolling out. I wonder if we go, obviously, probably no lurkers this game. I wonder if Rogue is just committing to this kind of 3-base economy, just shy of 66 workers, and just sending it. I mean, it looks like it. As the speed upgrades finish up, I think Rogue is just going to be committing with as large an army as he can get. We'll see if it would be enough. Going to be seeing the recall coming down as these Stalkers get caused. It's a fantastic start here from Rogue because that's a lot of units going down, so that's a big benefit. I'm just going to just shuffle through that central area and all the other units coming as well. Interesting because obviously this gold is fairly well protected. This little ledge in front of it means you can only, you've got to kind of curve around into it, so limits what you can do. Bane speed not ready yet, and a lot of the Bane's already being utilized. Yeah, I wonder if Rogue went a little bit too soon with those Banes. 23 new Banes on the way up, to be fair, so has a lot of units that are still morphing. He's going to come around this position. I like this more because it also gives you the chance to say, oh, maybe I can kind of move towards the natural or so with some further aggression. There are stasis wards that are landing onto these Banes, though, and I just don't think the Hydra count is going to be good enough right now here from Rogue because, yeah, these Hydras have to do it all, and there's just not enough protecting them. There's a lot more Lings on the way. Plus one missiles is ready soon, but it's just not ready yet. Stalkers should be blinking on these Hydras if they can, because I think this is absolutely a capitalize on the situation. And as we come through, a couple of Hydras going down. A little bit more back and forth as the Zealots come through. The gate's coming up. We had an armor upgrade in there, plus one melee upgrade coming through. Forge cannon battery coming online. We get the assimilator and the pylons building as well. Stalkers around that bottom right side. Melee upgrade overseer continue to come in for the moment. And the Ling Hydra is going to be pulling back across once again. And Hydra's going to gather. The Ling Bane continues up. The melee upgrade coming through. These Banes are going to position themselves. What are they going to do themselves? The Hydra goes down. He's going to step up. He's going to be seeing the Hydras coming in from the other side as well. And they go. Infestation pit coming in. Just going to be seeing the hatchery coming up again. Bane's Hydra's continuing through. Add a melee upgrade on in there as well. This Bane's going to get caught in the stasis ward. A lot of guys building from skillers. I mean, Rogue turned this into, you know, from a big ol' attack. I mean, let's look at his arm, right? It's an infestation pit, and so we haven't really done much tech-wise yet, but he has turned it into a bit more drone count. He's gotten his own gold base up. I mean, these are benefits he didn't have originally. There's the Lings and the Banes and the Hydras continue to come over. A couple of Banes are connecting in. The Banes are still crashing through onto the Stalkers as well. More Changelings still wandering about, and the Stalker's still trying to press through there. The Ling Hydra trying to step forward once more, and the Ling Bane still very much so caught up in this stasis ward as the Stalkers are going to shoot. A few more Lings going down. Going over the side, a few extra Lings going to get caught into stasis once again as the couple of Overseers are going to get jumped on. Still got the Banes coming through. The Nexus is about to finish up. I mean, the Hydra's enough to fight these Stalkers. We get rid of the 5th base. I don't think that's the biggest issue for Skillers. What's crazy to me is that Skillers is so far along on so many upgrades and just isn't there on the and just isn't there on the Storm yet. I mean, the Storm feels like such a necessity when you're playing against this kind of a composition, but maybe just getting slowed down. Afraid of kind of how aggressive Rogue was being at first. It doesn't seem to matter in the end as Rogue once again gets pushed away. And as he gets pushed back, you can just see that, yeah, I mean, Skillers this time will finish up even better upgrades and will also then have Storm on his side, so that's going to put him into a great spot. Hydra gathering, the Stalkers and the High Templars gathering as well for a few moments. Stalkers back around that bottom side. Lurkers coming through. Seismic Spines and the the Nanomuscular Swell coming up. I mean, Skillers definitely has the lead and the control of this game at the moment here. So we just have ourselves the Adrenal Glands coming about, the 34 Lings coming over. As the Stalker count is back into the center. There's also going to charge through. We're going to get themselves a Queen. A few more drones going down as well. So 5 workers getting picked off. The other Zards are coming over. The Zards just going to jump into the main base as Lings and a Queen go down as well. Another few Lings getting chipped away at. So all of those continuing to drop off. For now, as our Zards are going to get rid of the Queen and the Hydras and the Lings. They'll play cleanup as well. 13, 14 dead drones. Still got our Stalkers still poking out the front, and there's a little Revelation coming down. Slow death for Rogue, who really tries to push himself back around and stay alive. I mean, he's on the same old composition against an ever-improving Protoss army. I mean, he is on Lurkers now, so yes, Lurkers obviously a big step up, but the size and the scale of the map definitely feels as though Lurkers are going to be moving about in such a way that, you know, as they reposition, as they have to take new locations, there's always going to be somewhere for the Protoss to be attacking into. It's a good fight for Rogue, who actually gets a surround, and the High Templars are going to die. And now it is just Stalkers, so if Rogue's ever going to win a fight, that was going to be it. I mean, the surround was good, but the surround came in so much faster than the Lurkers because the Lurkers are missing some of their upgrades still. I mean, now they step forward, and this is basically it. Can these Lurkers find a way to trade super efficiently? Because Rogue is down, like I say, a good amount of supply, and it's economy as well as army. As the Revelation comes down a little late there. Skillers might be giving up this 5th base again. Which, if nothing else, is obviously a win for Rogue. The probes need to be careful coming back to mine, because they don't want to end up accidentally walking into some Lurker shots. They don't, for the most part. Yeah, 5th base will go down, so at the very least, Rogue is going to stay in this. More Tempest coming up. He's once again making that switch to the Spire. The difference being last game he had some money to actually spend on Corruptors. This game he really does not. Zealots are trading extremely well against the Lings. 3-3, by the way, against missiles and carapace, missiles and melee. No carapace upgrades. So it's a pretty hefty upgrade differential as well, favoring Skillers, and I think that's where so many of these good trades have continued to come from the early stages of the game too. Suddenly 28 drones down, and obviously Rogue is not exactly in the position where losing economy is going to be great for him. The Mothership cloaking pops, and there's no way he's going to ever afford Corruptors in this game. The Spire is up, but the money is just not there. 46 drones isn't going to provide what you needed to provide. This is looking less and less likely as to the fact that it's going to be happening. As we continue through, this does look as though we are going to have ourselves a Skillers victory and a Game 3 on the horizon, a round of 16 match today in the WardiTV Mondays. Like I was saying earlier, this tournament is looking stacked today. The round of 16 is already stacked, and these sort of matches in the round of 16 show you exactly why. And yeah, great showing for Sandworm as well, one of the new maps we picked to come in and complement the map pool. Change the map pool up for WardiTV events, and we will be using this map pool for all WardiTV events for at the very least the next month or so. And like I said, I'm very happy that we're already seeing some of these maps get picked and played. You know, there's 9 maps in the map pool. You can avoid these maps if you want to. But yeah, they're getting some love. Yeah, getting some love. Yeah, because each player gets 3 vetoes each, so even if one player decides he doesn't want to play on any of them, you can just go veto, veto, veto. So yeah, some of them actually getting some play is really nice to see as our Hydras and our Lurkers get rid of the Nexus on the 6 o'clock. All of this army of Skillers moving down the bottom left, the +1 air weapons coming through, cannons coming up, Corruptors, shields, The Observer coming about as well. If these are going to go in and just jump onto a couple of those Zerglings. And the Hydra dashing backwards. Another Hydra trying to dash back. Rogue trying to use as much of his micro as he possibly can. But I honestly think this game... I'd love to see a replay of this game if all the fights had happened where Rogue had just had some better upgrades. I really feel like the upgrades have hard-carried Skillus in some of these fights and some of these trades. Maybe not even hard-carry, because I think Skillus played a good game anyway. I think Rogue would have had some at least better trades and better moments had the upgrades made this game comparable, but on top of Skillus playing well, it's just the upgrades have made it completely unwinnable for Rogue, I think. So many times over. As GG will get called and Skillus takes game 2, we tie up 1-1, and we go to game 3 of this upcoming best of 3. Alright. What do you think would happen if they gave back the 5 HP nerf to Banes? I don't know. I don't know how that... I don't play enough to tell you how that feels to the extent that it would be a meaningful answer, you know? Looks like Solo and Bunny just finished up a cool matchup. Looks like Solo will be playing MaxPax in the round of 8. ByuN defeats Classic this week, so he'll be taking on potentially CLEM in the round of 8 as well further down the line. Creator 2-0 Shin. Go Creator. And a result in there. We're still obviously watching this Skillus Rogue matchup. The winner of this potentially playing Cure, our TLMC champion. So that's where everything is at. Here in this WardiTV Mondays 26, where we have top 4 also qualifying to the WardiTV Spring Championship. The winner will get a special seed in the Spring Championship one round further, which obviously is pretty nice as well. Something that we're trying to do is build a collection of WardiTV based events again and getting them all interconnected, and on top of them being interconnected, just the best of the best, try and give them a way to not have to play each and every round of the bigger tournaments as well. So yeah. Why not play more? Don't have the time. I don't enjoy playing StarCraft anymore. The problem with playing StarCraft 2 is if you stop playing StarCraft 2 for any amount of time, you get much worse at the game. And it's I find it very difficult to enjoy playing something which I understand much more. I understand it much better than I can execute anything. It's so frustrating being like, oh, I see what he's doing, but I can't make my hands do the right thing to stop it or to make a difference. It's so frustrating. It's zapped all the joy out of StarCraft. It's like, I don't really know how to phrase it better. It's just understanding a lot of it, but then not being able to execute it yourself takes the joy of trying to do it away, you know? So, yeah. It's tough. And I'm not saying, like, you know, I'm not saying my knowledge is up there at, like, the highest of high levels, but my knowledge is significantly above my gameplay, right? Void Parallel, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much. Yeah, so much of SE2 is just having your macro and your mechanics down and being able to consistently do that, and I just don't play enough. I don't find it fun enough to play enough to get to that level, or to get to the level I used to be at as well. I used to be a lot better than I am now. That's also frustrating, right? Even if it's like, even if you take away the other thing I'm saying, even just knowing I used to be a lot better than I am now, like, to me when I play games, I like improving, I like seeing improvement, I like understanding it more and more and putting that understanding into play to see the process and to see the progress and to see the improvement, you know? I don't get that anymore with StarCraft 2. The amount of time I would have to invest into StarCraft 2 to see that is just not worth it, / it's just time I just don't have. / I would burn myself out. So, yeah. At least Wardy keeps it real. Well, I mean, no point lying to yourself, no? like I know what the issue is. I was already someone that got very frustrated while playing StarCraft 2 at myself. You know, I hate doing things incorrectly. I hate not seeing progress, or I hate like making a mistake that I've made before, dying to something I feel like I should have. You know what I mean? I hate that stuff. And so you combine all of that, it just makes it very difficult to play. I have thousands upon thousands of games played in StarCraft 2. You know, I've done my time playing. Mechanics do hard carry in SC2, yeah. I mean, I can log into SC2 and play a very reasonable game in Diamond at the very least. Just based off of mechanics that are stale and rusty, you know? Like, I can use builds from 6 years ago when I actually last knew a build order to the point of being able to execute a build order, right? I can do builds from like 6 years ago and see absolutely fine success. Because mechanics are just the hard carry of this game. So it's, yeah. It's interesting. You just play for fun and watch pro games from time to time. I mean, every now and then I hop on the ladder and I play a few games. Like, every now and then I'm like, you know what? I fancy playing a few games of StarCraft 2. And I play like 10 games or so. I do a couple of builds and, you know, I do a couple of each matchup. I play a bit of Zerg after playing some Terran. I have a good 2 or 3 hours of playing. And that's just good enough for me, because to put any more time in, my brain goes into, okay, I need to get better. Okay, I need to do this better. You know? I can play a few fun games, a few terrible games as well. And to me, that just satisfies my reason to play StarCraft 2 for a little while, you know? And then I'm good for a while. So, yeah. A couple of drones going down. This Oracle is going to come and get a couple more as well. Skills has been good harassing early in this game. As the Oracle flies up through the back of the third base. Gets another drone as we loop around. 5 workers dropping. The Zerglings are going to come running by, and they're just going to turn themselves and attach onto this Nexus as they get turned around again. So the Oracle just going to push that away once more. Couple more gates coming down. The Nexus is coming up. The probes are coming online. So again, we just got a little bit of everything coming through for now. Things move about again, the +1 and the blink coming over as well, so we just get all of that settled in. Get underway here. And again, see where things are going to be heading to. Dep's going to be there, chasing those lings around. The Adepts can see all of these lings here, and they will just have to commit to that shade, which means that they should go down now. A couple drones dead on the other side as the other Adepts are going to be there, so these lings are just going to let those Adepts go. I feel like that's kind of crazy. You're going to let these Adepts join up to be 5 in total. You could have easily had 2. Instead, you run across the map into more units, and I mean, yeah, it's a little bit of a surprising one in my eyes, but there you have it. As they layer on the melee upgrade, continue through, +1 on the blink coming up. 2 drones transferring across. Blink +1 continuing about. Again, that layer coming online. The lings are going to go moving across as well. Stalkers will sit there. The lings move over the sides again. Blinking +1 finishing very shortly. Couple queens at the front on that 4th base. Dropper Lords in production. Had the Hydra Den in from Rogue as well. And we still have the Stalkers just gathering around the left side, figuring out where it is that they would like to go. Stalkers will set up. We're just going to see this hatchery. Already taking damage. Hatch taking some hits. The lings are going to wrap around. Hatchery is going to get very low. Now the lings obviously get a lot of free damage here because the Stalkers hit the hatchery and do not fight back initially. So Rogue is going to kill every unit. Apparently not even going to try a recall here. Maybe here we try a recall. One Oracle still chasing those Lings. And it's not a free fight for Rogue. He is losing Lings in this process, but removing every single Stalker, there's something to be said about that. Because now you're losing so much of the firepower that's meant to keep you going in this game as the Protoss player. So we get a hatchery. Resources lost is going to be favoring Rogue ever so slightly. He kills 13 Stalkers. He lost 75 Lings. I think just he lost so many Lings that it's actually not enough in the end. Like, it looked like a very free fight for those Lings, but especially as they kept chasing to the left, the Oracle did a lot of work too. The Oracle has 21 kills, so yeah. The Trouble Lord over here actually finds a couple of pros, but it's pretty well handled as well. So a little cute play from Rogue as some Lings are going to try and get down to the low ground, but Skillers is honestly just handling this very, very, very comfortably. He's doing all the right things. He's not panicking. He's keeping this very much so under wraps at the moment. Stalkers gather, Oracle overhead. The Hydras are going to go nipping their way through a set of rocks here as well. So just going to try and do a little bit more for the next few moments as we open those rocks up. Storm still on the way through, the +2 attack, very much so on its way in as well. Let's get chased the other direction. Look at them coming up, Hive on the way, Hydras coming through. Things will continue over the Stalkers through the center. Stalkers step up. Creep Teamer goes down already. It's going to be seeing the rest of these Stalkers fighting. A few Lings going down, blinking backwards. The Hydras continuing to fight as well. The Stalkers have to keep on backing away at the moment. The Lings still trying to come on through. Queens, Hydras, Lurkers trying to step up for the moment. The Lurkers are going to burrow toward the end here. We're just trying to keep it busy, trying to harass around. I'm worried about this Stalker force though. A lot of power continuing to come on through currently as we step on over. Stalkers and the Oracles making their way up toward the top. Look is in position immediately. Just going to be having again the +3 attack coming through. Add a couple of gates onto that as well. Stalkers will fire, a couple Lings fire back. The Lurkers are going to get some shots off. The High Templars going to have to drop some good storms here. They do work their way through the Lings nicely. The Lurkers trying to get the wrap around. One Archon morphs in, the other High Templar's dead. But getting these Stalkers a little stuck. This has been maybe the biggest issue for Skillers in these games, right? Where the Stalkers end up in some weird spots. We blink, we take a second to recall, but we do drop it. One more Stalker dead. Rogue cleans up. At least this time we recall out of there before too much more trouble comes about. That could have obviously been a whole lot worse as Zealots and Stalkers and High Templars continue to move through. A couple of Storms are going to drop down. A few more hits coming around. And Lurkers continue to press on in on this left-hand side. The Zealots and the Probes continue to take some damage at the moment as we push right across, back over to the side. So far. Well, this is interesting because now Rogue gets into a fantastic spot once again. Now Nex is still taking some damage, and yeah, I think that one's going to go down. I mentioned this a little bit in the TLMC that this base is an interesting one to try and defend. It feels good, but you're like right around a corner. There's a lot of good pushing positions in there as well. Few shots coming about. Still seeing some hits coming through. I mean, the Lurker step forward again. Drone's going down on the other side, so we are seeing damage elsewhere, but it's this position that's really the most important. The Lurkers trying to stand their ground. So many High Templar just got absolutely melted there. So that's going to be a big deal. Time War coming down. The Lurkers still firing Zealots. The Stalkers taking hits. These Lurkers going to get jumped on once again. Lings get through. The probe's going to be taking some damage. Again, a few more shots. 6 probes have ended up going down. So again, damage is very serious here so far. I mean, Skull's going to get a bit of a push back up this top side. The Corruptors are going to activate. The Mothership goes down. And his Tempest going to fall as well. It's basically Archons versus the world. Lurkers should deal with Archons decently, but right now we don't have enough of them, and so Rogue having to bring some units back from the other side. What does Rogue have? He has nothing on the ground, so this army on the ground is an issue. Now reinforcements are going to start trying to deal with this. Lings get in front. The Lings will melt, but if you can just buy some time for Hydras in the back to do some work, that Lurker does get burrowed. Man, we just got to get rid of anything that we possibly can. Some of these Archons are getting low. It's a last-ditch effort from Skillers, which is fortunate for Rogue, because if it was anything more than a last-ditch effort, he might just be losing the game here. And again, that feels like he very much so had won. GG, says Skillers, and Rogue gets it done on Persephone to win this series and to go 2-1 through into the next round. So Rogue moves through over Skillers there. GG's. Looks as though MaxPax and Solo have already begun, so that bottom side quarterfinal very much so on its way. A lot of other matches still going on. The top side of the bracket is running slow right now. Kira just went in game against Shameless, which is unfortunate because it would have been nice to maybe catch that, because then the winner of that plays Rogue, which would give us a round of 8 to watch. As it stands right now, we might just be having to wait for someone to come out of game before we can really get into anything else here. That might be one of the better ways to go about it. What are my ladder ranks at the moment? Unranked. I don't play enough to stay ranked. I personally 100% completely believe that if I played 50 to 100 ladder games, I would very easily be Masters. I find it very difficult I'd be below that if I just learned some builds and put the time in. I honestly think I could do it in a lot less games, but I don't want to over-believe in my ability. Because I also just don't know. I don't know what we're going to go into, guys. Let's take a little bit of a break. Screen will be back in just a few. More StarCraft 2 coming up. I'll see you guys on the other side, as we'll be right back. Hello everyone, welcome back. Just waiting to see where the brackets are going to take us. Solar just came out of game. We might just jump into the next game of Solar MaxPax. I feel like that might be our best route at the moment. Because it's about to begin. It's not a full series. Happens. With Sandworm for map 2. So MaxPax is up 1 in this best of 3. And then we're going to go Sandworm map 2. So Sandworm getting some love today, huh? It's fun. Alright, so MaxPax is up 1-0. My prediction of some upsets is currently not not looking great, huh? Apparently not looking too hot. As we get ready to go and kick this underway. And yeah, let's get this one up and rolling as MaxPax and Solar get to work. Let's kick this off. On top right hand side, we're going to start this with our red Protoss player. This is MaxPax. He's up a game in this series, so it's a best of 3, which is joined in for game number 2 here. And yeah, here's MaxPax in the upper right, while in the bottom left, our blue Zerg is going to be Solar. Our second game of this best of 3. Like I say, a shame not to jump into a fresh series. It's just, I don't know how long Kira is going to be in game for. I don't want to wait forever for him versus Rogue. This section of the bracket's going fast. It's very possible that after this, we just head into the semi-final. And then we're still maybe going to catch a round of 8 on the top of the bracket because, like I say, this section is just heading along very quickly in comparison at the moment. So, it seems to be a thing. See what happens in the PvZ. Another one on Sandworm, so let's see what goes down. So Andrew on the YouTube chat, let's help Wardy and get like the video here. Yes, absolutely. If you're on the YouTube, give it a like. And takes a couple moments if you're already on there. Helps out a whole bunch. Helps us to see so much more. Helps us to see so much more. Or helps it to be seen so much more. Helps so many more people to see it. So 100% go check that out. Super easy to do. How many likes are we on right now? 40! Actually, you guys are doing great already today. 40 in the first hour or 2 is amazing. So good job, guys. Keep it up! Let's roll on out to 100 likes. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna mention subscribing as well. I'm sorry, but unfortunately, people don't do it unless you say it, and you've got to say it a lot because people join the stream at different times all the time. So if you're enjoying the stream, support it by hitting the buttons. Alrighty, so we are here in this PvZ though, and let's see where we are getting to in WardiTV Mondays. Edition 26, like I say, half a year of WardiTV Mondays, which is kind of pretty crazy in its own right. Drop a pylon down, the Cybercore finishing, Adept on the way. A couple of those probes continuing across as well. It's just bringing all of that through for the moment. Get that settled just for a moment or 2 here. So yeah, we got settled down. We saw that this can definitely be a fairly drawn-out map, given a little bit of time, so that's what we just saw between Rogue and Skills. We'll see if MaxPax Solar goes in any kind of different direction or not. We got the Adept coming over. It's going to start to put some harass into play. The Oracle coming up on the Stargate. The probe moving through. Stalker popping out. Just going to bring that right up into action here for a few moments. And yeah, link speed will continue to come on through. The Overlord and the Queen building up as well. The extra drones coming about. Our hatchery coming through. Wargate and the Oracle very much so on the way in right now, so... And we bring this all up. Underway we go. And Stalker is going to ping away at this Overlord. Don't think there's a way out for this Overlord. And try and turn it a corner or so here and there, perhaps. We're just hanging around. Just going to be seeing the lava going down, and now going to get drone cancel too. So actually, pretty effective Oracle here from MaxPax already. Oracle comes back through. Again, Twilight Council and the Forge coming about. Next is about to finish. We do have the Lair and the Rotron coming up on the side of Solar. And again, just Lair and Rotron continue to come through. A few of the drones coming about. The Overlord coming in. As Zerglings will gather and put a little bit of pressure onto that Nexus as well. So put some work in on that. Nexus taking a few nibbles. The drones finishing up as we go. The Lair just continuing through with the Rotron in production as well. Continue to get this moving as MaxPax makes the +1 in the blink commitment, so not really any surprises there either. Very much so kind of what you would expect to be happening thus far. And hence onwards we go. Well, Oracle's going to drop another Revelation down. Creep Team is getting rid of a couple of the Creep Teamers too, so we can work our way through some of those. The Queens are still coming over. Oracles are whacking. Evo Chamber coming up as we speak. Again, +1 in blink coming in. We do get the probes and the Stalkers, and so all continuing through. The Oracles now into the upper left-hand side, going to try and continue their way around. The Roach speed continue to build up. Drones going down. 3 of them already dropping here. Make it 4. Looking for maybe 5. Nope, it's going to be the 4 for the moment, so all workers so far. The rest of these drones get back across. And those Lings still just putting in the work onto those rocks and opening up this space. Again, +1 attack, the blink, the Robo Facility and Temple Archives, all of that continues through for the moment. Add a cannon, add a Temple Archives, like I say, just get yourself into that position to play the longer game with static defense and the better tech coming through. Just going to get into a better and better position with that all being established. Things will latch themselves onto this Cyber Core as well, by the way, so we get straight into position here as we just have now the Stalkers counterattacking this gold base. Solo was immediately onto this 4th as a gold. It's in a forward position, but obviously getting the gold is very valuable to you, so I think it makes a lot of sense. Just in comparison to the game we just saw, Rogue didn't take this gold base. Skillers did. And I think it's a very attainable base for the Protoss player as MaxPax continues to apply some pressure. The Roaches and the Hydra are going to loop around from the other side. Stalker's still stepping up. Going to be coming in for a few more moments as we have the Roaches and the Hydras continue to step through as well. So again, just going to be coming across here, trying to get a little bit more done. Ling's going to head up to the top side, so again, just going to get a little bit of a move along right there. We do have our Ling's going to show up, and a couple of Zelds are going to be in position very quickly too, so just going to try and get that underway. Just going to brute force our way onto these Stalkers, so Solo with a good attack. Now, these High Templars have Storm in a few moments. We are going to get to the point of getting to use that Storm, so that's obviously going to be a big addition. That's going to be a big positive. You can see that Storm coming down. A couple of Hydras getting chased away. Just going to be seeing another Storm. We'll have to morph in the Archons now. Solo could dive on those, but there's going to be a Stasis. It's a fairly sizable Stasis ward as well. Is it good enough? I mean, Solo's supply is good, and MaxPax's supply is 100% dropping a little bit heavily here. Reinforcements showing up. That Archon has to go the long way around, but the extra Stalkers are showing up too, and it does look as though, in the end, we are going to push this backward, and that is going to be MaxPax making a defense at the end of it all. It looked good for a little bit for Solar, who is basically just going to go on Roach Hydra again. He's going to send it one more time, trying to utilize this gold-based income boost to just go, go, go. And those extra Hydras and the Lings continue to come through. Our Roaches, Lings, and Hydras knock through the rocks on the left-hand side, opening up that space. The Hydra steps up, a couple of Lings chasing forwards, 2 Stalkers go down as well. More Ravagers morph in, and we are going to start to take a position up to the top side. As we take a turn in, several Stalkers already taking damage, and Storm taking hits as well. I mean, we're doubling the army supply as Solar, but that does not necessarily mean enough. If the if the tech units do well, then they can trade very efficiently here. As another Storm comes into the front, that Ravager's a little, that Immortal's a little exposed. Ling Ravager going to be able to get rid of it. The Arc on the left side goes down. We're out of Storms. If there's a moment to break through as Solar, this may very well be it. We get one more of the Archons. It's important, I think, to take a moment to target that Archon because, again, we talk about the importance of the tech units. You want to make sure you're getting rid of Archons, getting rid of Immortals. The more Archons and Immortals that get to live, the rougher a time you're going to have continuing to fight as time goes by. Right now, you're just about keeping the Zealots at bay. The 2 Immortals here are not quite doing enough to kind of truly push this back. A few Roaches from the bottom side. That Immortal loses its barrier. There's no Prism, but just as one Immortal goes down, potentially another Immortal shows up. Do we have the target fire on that low HP Immortal? We do not. A few Hydras on the top have some work to do. This healthier Immortal, no, doesn't go down. It stays alive as it pulls back just as Solar decides to back away. He wants to get rid of the 4th base. If he gets rid of the 4th, he might feel like he can just continue to swarm units eventually. Make sure that MaxPax doesn't have that position to mine from. Well, new rounds of Storms are available. Those High Templars having that energy is a big deal breaker. As we do just have another couple of Storms, but they're not doing too much just yet. It's mostly hitting a couple units. Obviously, we're not clumped up or anything. We're not forcing our way through a position. And MaxPax is losing a few more units. Now, it's going to be a lot of tech units, but there's no support for these tech units, so they are just going to get target fired. The Hydra's putting their DPS into light. This is where the Zealots warp in, and we probably push Solar back once again, though. 40 army supply difference favoring Solar at the moment. A few more Hydras and Roaches continue through. The Immortal and the High Templars are very much so still on the way in. I just step up again. The Assimilator will go down. We spread out. The Queens are going to show up too. The creep is so nearly there to allow these Queens to transfuse. As we're starting to lose some probes, and that's a nicer Storm, but that's the last Storm, I believe, unless that High Templar right there just about has energy. It will in 5 seconds, so there's going to be one more Storm, but the 3rd base is going down. The only benefit then is that MaxPax will have this base to mine from potentially, so you could argue that that's going to be a tougher base for Solar to attack into. His Creep Highway does not allow him to go in that direction. That said as well, and potentially you could go surrounding here. It's just like I say, we're way off of Creep at this point. A few Zealots counterattacking, looking to find a 5th base, some Creep Tumors. We'll have to take a moment to go deal with that as Solar as well, lest it potentially get a little bit out of control and get a little bit too far away from you. So something else to keep in mind and to keep thinking on as our +2 missiles. It's going to continue up. Zealots and High Templar coming in as well. And a couple of Ravagers coming over. Hydras too. And we are going to be seeing these probes beginning to go down as well. A couple of Zealots are going to get jumped on. Let's just set up. Another Storm or so coming about. The Immortals are going to be coming in. Hydras, Roaches, Ravagers continue to punch through. The couple of Immortals already dropping down. The Zealots start to get to the front lines here. Can we get rid of these Zealots before we lose too many Roaches? We got only a few Hydras and Ravagers in the back, but apparently it is enough. And Solar will break through to take a 2nd game here and to tie this series up 1-1. We've got a banger here in the round of 8. As the rest of the round of 8, by the way, is setting up. CLEM versus ByuN is setting up. Cure versus Rogue is setting up. So all of that happening. Progress being made. Very exciting. Looks like CLEM ByuN didn't start yet, but at this point we're going to stick through on Solar versus MaxPax. Obviously, we're going to see this game 3. And go from there. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Going down into Persephone. I am loving how much the new maps are getting used. Apparently Persephone, I mean, I don't know if these guys just want to play the new maps a little bit, but like, this is another PvZ where we're going to see Sandworm into Persephone as Game 2 and Game 3. Super interesting. Maybe a good PvZ map, question mark? I love it. As MaxPax sends an early probe onto the map, he's in the top left. Losing that last game, meaning that we are tied up 1-1 in this best of 3. Solar getting a game. Love to see that. As we are going to settle down and look to rumble in Game 3 here. Do 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 do. So just taking a couple of moments here, drone coming up, lag coming through, and get settled in for the early stages. Probably just nibbling and getting hatched and pool. Continue to come through. The Cybercore and the Nexus coming online as well. It's definitely this map which I really am interested to see. So much of this happens around the left. I'm really excited to see who starts using these healing zones. Like this healing zone is not too far away to realistically be utilized. So I definitely think that's something we should be able to see at some point. I guess we'll see what the situation is when it comes around as Cybercore, Nexus, continue to come through and get settled here for a couple of moments. Yeah, this far right base will be interesting if we ever see it taken. Gold base, that's going to be contested in a super late game where everyone just has their bottom side and top side of the map. If someone could sneak that gold and hold on to it, then that would be an incredible game changer, so it would be a point of contention very late into a game. Does the healing work for air units? This is an air blocker around the top, so the air units on this healing shrine can't reach it, I believe. I don't think you can enter through top and bottom, so this one does block air units from being healed. So I believe it's just ground units. Stargate is going to finish from MaxPax. No surprises about his early opener. Hey, you know, as I said, I was feeling some upsets today. Maybe Solar takes down MaxPax. Maybe that's the upset I've been looking for. Maybe that's the upset we've been looking for. Be cool, wouldn't it? I'd be down. I would be down. We're gonna fight. The Adept gonna take some damage, so we take a few shots here and there. A few hits just coming through. End up getting in position, a couple of queens making their way across as well, so again we get set up over there and just take position. The Adept's moving around, looking good for the moment. Void Royal activate, and we see the Overlord going to take some damage right away as well, so that will be taking a few shots. And yeah, the Void Ray obviously allows you to put a little bit more true kind of pushing power onto the map super early in the game, so it's always an interesting starting point. Oracle comes back around, a little bit of a cancel comes through as well. And yeah, the Void Drain the Oracle. And just keep moving over for the moment. Queen's gonna get there. Oracle already taking damage. And I'm just going to fight again the Ling coming back the other side. So a few more shots continue to come over for a moment or two. The +1 and the Blink coming up. We had a couple of gateways on into this. Flare coming online. That's a lot of drones being produced as well here from Solar at the moment. Just getting that worker count up, good economy, and make sure that you're as prepped as you possibly can be when it comes to being ready for the +1 and the Blink attack and for that aggression to start coming on through. So trying to get as prepared as possible in that regard. And Blink +1 coming up, 4 extra gates coming around, 3 additional probes coming in. Hydrogen is coming up as well. We drop a hatchery into position in the bottom right-hand side, so we are just going to expand right across the bottom of Solar. That is what I expect of this map a little bit. You just expand right across the bottom, and the map doesn't get any shorter for you. It makes it very difficult to push in as a Protoss. Pushing that bottom right side is such a journey across the map to really go and utilize that at all. Like, that's going to be a real struggle, I think. The Zerglings are ready to attack it on the top. I don't think we can really do much here. The Stalkers move quite nicely. We will surround, but the Oracle shows up. Extra units warp in. Just evacuate and keep some of those Lings alive. If you get the surround immediately there, then brilliant, but obviously the surround was not immediate in the slightest. He's going to fight. You'll see the Stalker taking some shots. A few more Stalkers warping in behind that one. Again, Groove Spines coming through. The Ling Hydra coming about. Our Oracle will be there just to push the Zerglings around as, again, our Temple Archives and Robotics Facility both coming up. So that tech of MaxPax truly coming online here currently. A few Stalkers and a couple of Devs going to hit down in this bottom right-hand side. The Hatchery already taking some shots. So the Hatchery is just going to die. I mean, I guess Solar is just fully sending this Ling Hydra attack, which means that MaxPax... Surely you've got to realize, like, whoa, why is he just letting me kill his base so easily? You know, is he just, like, how out of position can he be? At some point you've got to be like, oh! No recall available on the 3rd, by the way, for MaxPax, so he might actually end up having to just retreat to the 4th base. Wow, that was actually a blink away that saved that Stalker. As we're going to base trade a little bit, so we are going to be seeing the drones just going to have to pull. We're going to enter full base trade mode. You would expect, generally, Stalkers do pretty well in a base trade, but... I mean, a lot of this will come down to just how many units are available. Obviously, the Stalkers eventually can still recall back home as MaxPax ends up in a supply block. Obviously, already expanding to the top side, so you will have a new 3rd to basically utilize here. There's the recall attempt. A few Hydras in reach are not going to do too much. So we recall back. Can these Hydras actually get home without ending up in too much trouble? I think the issue is MaxPax just undid all of Solar's attempt to be aggressive, and now MaxPax is going to get away with getting into +2, blink, and charge. Did a bunch of damage in the process. And so he's going to come out in a great tech position. I mean, Solar, I think, is still just going to go. He's not replacing any of his drones. He's got a decent army supply. It's the fact that charge is done, which is why we've just got to go. There are High Templar that are going to come in from the left-hand side here. We're going to see it. We dive through. Oh my god, the storm is massive. So those Hydras take so much damage. A couple of Hydras split apart, which is what I thought he was initially going to do, but then he just kept moving forward with everything. Has to push through the choke point here. Some Lings showing up. It's so difficult to get in reach of those Stalkers. I mean, the position is good, right? Some of the Hydras are going to be able to work their way on that Nexus, and if we lose that Nexus, this becomes a very different game, which is what Solar is realizing. The problem is Solar's so committed. These units do not get home easily. He's going to get rid of the probes, though, in the 3rd base. So the new 3rd base, the replacement 3rd base goes down. Can we get home with these Hydras? Do we want to get home? Like, it's 2 bases versus 3, so you gotta kind of like it, but he also, I think, kind of likes the fact that he's just got a ton of Hydras right now. That MaxPax, he does have an answer too, like, the Storm's available. It just depends how the fight goes. Lings and Hydras finding some of the Stalkers over here, and some Lings will chase some low HP Stalkers if we can finish a few off. Any kill is a good kill. Lings on the other side, Blink on cooldown, Stalkers getting stuck. MaxPax struggling to get away as the Lings continue to chase. A few Hydras pushing to the front over here. Does eat a little bit of a storm. That's fine. There's only so many storms, especially as the Stalkers can't get involved. Solar's still pressing in. Robo Facility will go down. One storm available now, and obviously we are potentially have energy overcharge, but that really depends if you find the chance to use it. It's a lot of Hydras. The DPS is still good. The Archon getting into reach is big, but the Archon's starting to get targeted down. We'll finish off one. We'll finish off two, but we eat more storms, so don't get me wrong. The Hydras are still taking damage. But Solar is maintaining a 30 army supply lead, and he's in position on the Nexus now, which kind of forces the issue. And now there's not Storm available unless we, like I say, probably have an energy overcharge at some point. Stalkers blink back in the main, which consolidates this army for the first time in a long time. There's one Storm on those High Templars already, I believe, which is obviously a big deal at the moment. As you just see these Hydras continue to press, there is the Storm, 3 or 4 Hydras caught in it. Man, imagine how close this would have been if Solar hadn't walked through that first Storm, which was just so huge. If that first Storm never went off, this wouldn't have even been a contest, huh? Well, that first Storm really shows you how important it was for MaxPax to get it, as the Hydras have to back away. Reinforcements taking a while to come across the map. It is a long rush distance that we're working with here. Misclick on the rocks, so we hit the rocks for a moment there rather than actually hitting the units or the Hydras. Again, we step forward. We've got to be careful when you step forward because the Archons can't blink back like the Stalkers can. Solar with a 23 worker lead. Is it? You've just got to ask yourself, when is it worth turning around and just committing to going back home? If it is, you know, if you do feel like that's the case at all at any point here. It's a difficult question. We are in obviously a very odd place overall. Obviously, MaxPax will try and expand, but I think this is smart from Solar. Shadow comes around the left-hand side. Archon going to take some shots. Feelings peel back. It's going to be seeing the units coming through again. I mean, why I like it, why I like the back away from Solar is because I think consolidating your force, you're going to get so much more quickly. And exactly this. Now you get a push that you can't really stop as MaxPax compared to just giving him trades where he might have been able to just about keep on hanging on in there. That one High Templar in the back is just about hanging on as well. A couple probes coming through. Couple storms coming down. The Roach Hydra taking hits. The Zealot's doing a great job on that left-hand side. But we are 5 times the army supply, as the Nexus is 100% going to drop. Couple more Zealots coming through as well. Just going to get the rest of this coming by. Going to turn back into the natural. And again, a couple more Zealots going down once more. The Archon trying to step on forward. And Solar is going to just see the 2-1 victory. I told you guys there'd be an upset today. I was really feeling it. I'm kind of upset that we don't have the first game of this series cast, because I would really like this. Is a great YouTube game, like an upset on one of our favorites. It's the kind of series we want. What's the story with CLEM playing Protoss versus Cure in the TLMC? He's been playing Protoss versus Terran instead of Terran versus Terran since he lost to Gumiho in Home Story Cup. And he practices PvT exclusively. He does not play TVT. He's not played an official match of TVT in months. He was 5-0 against Cure with PvT in series in the last few months before that series yesterday. So, yeah. It's just what he's been doing. All right, where are we at in the brackets? So Solar moves in. He's actually our first semifinalist. Typically, we actually end up with that ready first. ByuN and CLEM have just started a game. I feel like everyone's been in the same games, unfortunately. Let's have a look across some of the streams. Coker, I believe, should be in the CLEM ByuN series. ByuN is up a game against CLEM. I told you guys, today's upset day. I was feeling it coming in. For some reason. Where are we at? Cure. Oh, Creator's in a replay, so we might have a result there. Hero 2-1 against Creator. So Creator nearly upset as well. I'm telling you guys, today is an upset day. I was feeling it. Alright. Do I read YouTube chat? Yes, I do. I just, not all the time. Sometimes I actually, can I turn timestamps on my YouTube chat? But sometimes I feel like the only issue with YouTube chat is I have it over on this screen over here. And sometimes when I'm adminning or like looking stuff up, I change the tab and then I don't look at YouTube chat for a while, so then I don't know how long it's been since someone said something, for example. So, yeah. That's all. YouTube live chat timestamps. Let's see if we can get timestamps. I don't know how to turn it on. Oh, timestamps. There it is. Right there. That's exactly what I need in the YouTube chat. Makes it a little bit easier for me. So yeah, I'm pretty much always reading YouTube chat, just sometimes I don't come back and forth. Alright, so we're just waiting for Solar to hop over. Shouldn't take us too long. Got that ready to go. Solar's still on an A. Oh. Tell Solar that we can go, and he's hopping over already. Alright guys, I'm going to be a good streamer. I'm going to start some predictions for you guys. Solar versus Hero. Round of 4. Okay, again, and so the one of the benefits of this WardiTV Monday is by moving into the top 4, you are guaranteed an invite to the WardiTV Spring Championship. So Solar and Hero will be both qualified for the WardiTV Spring Championship essentially. So that's some awesome bonus for them. Cool. Alright, we'll just get ready for Hero versus Solar, guys. Hopefully get this rolling very shortly. Click that button as well. So they are vetoing. Perfect. And then Cura or Rogue will take on CLEM or ByuN in the semi-final on the other side. We will have both semi-finals broadcast on the stream, guys. We do both. Alright, we're going to go Ultra Love for map number 1. So we'll get this hosted up, guys. Ultra Love coming through and get this underway. And we'll get ready to rumble. So Ultra Love coming by, get this started off. I just saw on the YouTube, I can actually start a poll as well. I want to see what the YouTube poll. Who wins this series? Solar versus Hero. I want to see if I want to see how a YouTube poll even looks. I don't even know what a YouTube poll looks like. All right, you guys can vote away if you fancy. All right, let's go into Ultra Love as we get ready to rumble. ByuN 2-0'd CLEM. CLEM's Protoss has taken a little bit of a dip the last couple of days, huh? I told you guys, I really felt like today was upset day. I felt like we were going to see a very different WardiTV. I don't know why. I just came in, I was like, I feel like we've got some new maps. I feel like we've got the inspiration of a WardiTV Spring Championship invite. I felt as though people were just going to show up a little bit. I feel like the MaxPax CLEM kind of combo. So that's crazy. For the first time... Well, is this going to be the... Surely this isn't the first time ever that... It might be. Hang on. This is going to be the first... Is it actually? The first time since WardiTV Monday's #1 where neither participated that will not have CLEM or MaxPax in the finals. It's the first ever WardiTV Monday to not see CLEM or MaxPax in the finals where one of them play the tournament. In the last 25 editions, at least one of MaxPax or CLEM have been in the finals. And today, neither of them will be. Now, here's another interesting fact. We've not seen anyone outside of CLEM, MaxPax, and Hero in the finals since Classic was in the finals in Edition 20. And before then, it was Cure in Edition 16. Like, this is also a rarity. So, yeah, just crazy stats right there. Today's going to be a bit of a fun day. As we have, in the bottom left, Hero. In the top right, Solar. There you go, guys. Some variety in your WardiTV Monday. How exciting is that? Spawning pool coming up, hatchery coming in. And we get ready to roll in the next few moments. I think ByuN knows to wait. I don't think we have to tell him. Are we going to get both semifinals? Absolutely, yes. 100%. I'm not going to let the semis play at the same time. Alright, so we get into game number 1 of this best of 3 here on Ultra Love. The Adept going to come chrono boosting out of the gateway. You just take a few moments to set up, see where we're going to go, see what the plan is going to be. Lings be coming up, a couple drones coming through. Now we're going to see Lings on the other side, just going to get rid of that pylon. That's the third hatchery of Solar come into place. So Solar getting some wins off of some aggressive kind of 60 to 65 drone Ling Hydraing, or Roach Hydraing as well. So that's a lot of what we've been seeing thus far. Interested to see if that continues here against Hero, if he has another idea, or what Hero does to kind of just deny that as well is obviously a question on the minds of many. It is going to be Cure versus ByuN, by the way. So Cure 2 Rogue already. So we are going to see a TVT on the other side, which means, I guess, a Terran versus Protoss, a Terran versus Zerg finals. There we go. There's a couple creep teamers come down. The Adepts gather up. The Oracle going to be right there. And the Queens will step through. We just got our Nexus coming online as well. The couple probes still being added on. Those Adepts are going to shade across into the natural. As 2 workers already going to fall. The Lings are going to be there as well. That's going to be a 3rd and 4th drone going down. And the Queens continue to push about, and that Oracle gets chased away up the top side. Again, Nexus continues to come through. The Assimilators coming up. The Lings coming down towards the bottom left side as well. Ling's going to squeeze on through. Not going to be able to just run straight in. His Hero's Wall is not good. He's going to deal with this pretty well. Like, this is not going to be a major issue. A couple of probes go down, but still a couple of probes that shouldn't go down. It's some lost mining time. We lose the Lings, I guess, is arguable. Like, was all that Lings, were all of those Lings worth what we just got here? Maybe not, but it's very tempting to run into the base when you get that chance, right? It's very difficult to just say, nah, you know what, I'm good just sitting here. That's not really how it works out. Depths will shade. A couple creep teamers already beginning to go down, so we get rid of those creep teamers at the front. Twilight Council coming online as well. Add on 3 additional gateways. And the probes coming through too. Going to be seeing the oracles going to be chased away. The queen's going to get a couple of those oracles taking damage. On the other side of the map, we have got ourselves a few lings coming about. The stalkers are going to get jumped on. The adept getting jumped on as well. Oracles do come back across. Again, Hydrogen continuing up for the moment. We get the ability for Solar to, if he wants to be aggressive, that's how he's been aggressive previously. He's got some money to spend as well, does Solar right now. 700 minerals stacked up. Starts a hatch, gets the 7 hydras on the way, plus a groove spines upgrade, so we are starting to spend our money. Just going to shoot. Hatchery taking some damage, so actually going to look for a cancel on this 4th base. So, because he's going to rush into Hydras, just doesn't really have a great answer to this right now. Hydras aren't upgraded. The problem is, if you start trading with these Hydras, you're losing units that you really need for the future, as well as the Oracles will set up. A few Stalkers going to step forward as well. That Queen taking some shots. 1 Hydra goes down. Stalker's taking some more shots, and again, the Hydra's going to take hits as well. Queen's going to be there. The Stasis Ward's going to sit back as well. More units of Solar continuing across down to the bottom left-hand side, so they all come across too. Stalker's going to get 1 more Hydraless kill. What's over here then? Just a Ling getting in. It's not a big deal. Scouts the Storm on the way, so you know that this is coming as Solar, so I don't think he... I think he was trying to, play at a certain pace anyways. I don't think that's going to necessarily change his plan. I'm surprised he's going to let these Stalkers do so much in a way. I actually thought he was going to step forward a little bit more aggressive with those Hydras. I feel like he could have been across this line in front of this hatchery to play the defense rather than as far back as he was. He is now going to split some Hydras off. He could have maybe played the surround, but obviously you can always blink to the upper left or blink across the rocks as an escape route. This is interesting. No, the High Templars don't have Storm just yet, and that was an opportunity to catch them. Did Hero see that these units were coming across? I don't know if he saw them. I think he's going to see them now as the Ling Hydra reveals itself. I'm just going to finish off this hatchery, but Solar doesn't care. He's committing fully to the Ling Hydra attack as he's going to bust his way up into this natural expansion. Contaminates the Templar Archives, but that's a little bit too late to be impactful. 2 of the Oracles go down already. Obviously, the recall onto this natural is going to be allowing to push the Hydras back. High Templars getting caught, though. They're going down already. Wait, where are the other High Templars at? I don't even know. Okay, there's still some dropping storms on the bottom side. Hero's supply is dropping very quickly as another storm comes in. The Hydra split away. Stalkers are going to take even more damage, and we will see more units still streaming across from Solar. 40 army supply lead. Got to try and capitalize right now, though. You try and jump on some of these units that are low HP. That's a High Templar targeted down. Love to see that, but the Zealots warping in. And I love the Pro Pull. Just guarantees some kills on these Hydras. Just make sure they're not going to be able to truly fight their way out. Solar's army supply is plummeting as well, and he's actually going to be the one to say GG as Hero gets a good enough defense there. That almost looked chaotic enough that Solar kind of made it happen, but again, he was kind of getting bullied and pushed around already, which was a little bit tough in the early stages of that, which is a little bit of a costly one. Wow, we actually have 38 votes. I'm actually genuinely surprised. We have 38 votes on the YouTube poll. 76% went for Hero. That's super interesting. I genuinely surprised so many people. Go YouTube. Look at YouTube chat. Interactive. YouTube chat's usually pretty quiet, so I assume a lot of people just sit there and lurk, but we're clicking away, man. We're interacting. I love it. Appreciate you guys. Hope you're doing great today. We are heading into our game 2 of this best of 3. Hero takes the 1-0 lead. Can Solar fight back? My concern is Solar is feeling a little bit one-dimensional, maybe. It's definitely going to be map 2, by the way. We are seeing these new maps being played quite a bit. You might not have seen it in the on our stream, but on some of the other streams there were Killer's Mile being played as well. Being cool to see so far. Like I say, very happy to see some of those maps getting some love. Beautiful stuff. All right. I'm going to get ready to go. I'm kind of happy for Hero, by the way. I feel like every time Hero plays these tournaments, he has to play because it's very hard to move CLEM or MaxPax out of Seed 1 and 2 because they consistently are the guys winning the most. Hero always has to play one of the two of them in the semis and then usually the other in the finals. I'm so excited for a day here where Hero doesn't have to have that happen. Sometimes when Hero has that happen, it's like, oh, he screws up, but I mean, it just basically never happens in this event anyway, so yeah, kind of crazy. As we get ready to go. Hero up 1, solo down a map as we get this ready to rumble. Let's have a look around. Obviously, again, interesting map here with the acceleration zones right down this right-hand side. That pathway's a very fun one, but it's going to be rare that you see it taken. You really need to get to the later stages of a game to see that truly come into play and come into impact. So that'll be one thing for us to look at. A little moving up, Handshake and Pool coming in. Kind of wondering what Solar's plan is then, because like I say, he's kind of being, from the games we've seen, he's playing a little bit, I don't want to say one-dimensionally, but a little bit like that. As we'll see what's up, we'll see what's happening. Probe just coming down to the bottom side. Adept gonna Chrono Boost away. Warp Gate coming up. Add a Nexus on into there as well. A couple more Queens and Zerglings continue to come about as well. Nexus is about to finish. Robo Facility coming through. The Adept and the Warp Gate continue to settle down as well. Drop an Evo Chamber down into position so we get that settled up as well. Queenlings gather up again, the Link Speed coming through, got that Prism in the Warp Gate, continuing online, get a Stalker added onto that as well. See those two Adepts going to try and shade into the natural as the Lings want to get across and try and get involved. Well, here I guess the Twilight Council finishing up. As that Twilight Council completes, we will see the Prism coming down. A couple of Adepts get loaded straight into it. And we'll put some pressure on. So, a very different opening here from Hero. Dark Shrine going to be his go-to for this game too. I like it. Mixing it up. Able Chamber to play the blocking game once again as these Adepts will just shade back to the Prism. And the main idea is obviously keep those Adepts safe. Keep them alive for longer. The longer alive, the more efficiency and the more effectiveness you're going to be able to find. I think it's going to wrap around. The two Adepts load back into the Prism once again. It's going to be seeing that Prism getting off to that bottom right-hand side. Again, the Queen still coming through. The Roach Ron and the Lair continue up. And some drones in as well. So far, so good. Again, the gates, the Dark Shrine, continuing up. We had the charge in also. These few Lings going to go chasing after those two Shading Adepts. As the Adept's going to get toward the high ground, the Lings would like to get a little wrap around, and the Adept's going to load straight back up into the Prism. And away they stretch for the moment as well. So, again, love what Hero's doing. Just so much activity. And behind this, it's going to be charged. We're heading to charge on Archon, because obviously DTs can morph into Archons too. The first DTs can warp in now as well. We do have 2 spores available, but that's not 1 spore per base, so there should be an opening somewhere. The question will be where. You see the warp in. Lair is done soon. Where are the spores at? We're about to find out. Is it in the natural? It is. Is it on the third base? Maybe not. Maybe it's not in the main. Okay, it is on the third base, but that depends on keeping the spore alive. The spore's going to get jumped on. We can morph an Overseer now. We're going to have to start morphing that immediately, like right now. As Solar, his Lair finished, but that's going very badly wrong. We got a transfusion to buy a little bit more time. We're going to try and push the DTs off of this. We have another transfuse available. It's not going to be enough, though. These DTs are going to get the hatchery. And we're going to save all 4 of the DTs as well. No, no, no. They don't even die. The Prism finds a way back in for Hero to make the evacuation happen. And now the Archons morph. And that is such a good start from Hero. There's a lot of times where the DTs kill the third base, and it's like, somehow it doesn't really matter that much, and the Zerg actually looks okay. But usually killing the third base is like, okay, well, guess what? You killed the third, but, yeah, and there's a but you lost the DTs, right? Now the DTs stay alive, the Archons morph in, and you gotta be not loving this a lot for Hero, who is on a later third than you might usually be, so his economy is not exactly as great as always, but, I mean, he's gotten everything he wanted to done with this opening, so hard to really debate away from that. Prism takes a few more shots, the Archon coming over. Let's see, a few drones are going to transfer back through as well. Add the road speed on, get that into play. Stalker's going to get that, and that Overseer will go down, so it's going to be a nice grab. Roach be coming up, the extra Roach is on the way through. DT is going to get a couple of drones as well. 4 workers dropping. The Queens are still going to be there. Prism getting chased back once more. This army of Hero will begin to split apart a little bit off to the left, a little bit off over to the right, and down through the center. Roach Ravager continues to produce on through. And we do have 6 more Stalkers, and the +1 upgrade of Hero continue to come into play. 1 more Stalker just going to get warped in there as well. As the DT continues across, the Roach Ravager comes in. The Lings are just going to come straight through, and a couple of those probes already going down. 3, 4, 5 workers going down as well. Just going to be seeing that coming about. Just going to be seeing the Roach Ravager stepping up as well. As the Prism pulls further back once again, a couple of force fields come into position here. Corrosive Vials on the force fields, and we will just see that Roach Ravager force continue to come about. A couple of Stalkers going down again. Corrosive Vials available to just go across this army. Can Solo hold on? Hero supply. Right away, it doesn't look amazing. Obviously, both sides are losing a lot of workers. A lot of probes went down. Now the drones are dropping as they got pulled into this fight. There are still probes going down on the other side as Hero is not responding to that. The Immortal's going to have to start microing as they are low HP. That last Immortal on low HP just about gets saved, so both Immortals get away in the red hit point bars. As we have, well, a defense made from Solar, and Hero is down to 48 supply. He's down 14 workers. And I think that's what you call a defense from Solar. I think he's going to hold on as this got a little bit crazy and a little bit hectic. That's going to favor our Zerg at the end of it all. And Solar looking to tie up this series. I tell you guys, I feel like genuinely... I feel as though genuinely killing the third base is almost a detriment to the Protoss player, man. Ay, ay, ay. Again, a few more roaches coming through. The probes coming online. The Prism is going to come back to the front as well, as we just have the Immortals dropping straight in. Queen going to fire the Roach Ravager coming across. Spread a little bit more creep out on the map as well. Plus 2 attack on the Forge coming through. The Roach Ravager still coming in round. The extra probes on the way in. We get Roaches and Lings being brought up as well. There's a few additional Zealots will alter in too. And a couple of Immortals putting some work onto the Creep Tumors. And yeah, the Ling Roach just gonna come straight over. Get a few more warp ins as the Roach Ravager force continues to go out across the map. So again, making a little bit of a move out to the other side. The Fueling's going to take some shots of damage. Looks like we're going to send it a little bit here as Solar. There's a DT in the bottom right-hand side. It's a 40 army supply lead. Solar didn't make a single drone during this rebuild. Uh-oh. This is going to be awkward because a lot of the Zealots are still in the natural. First couple of force fields come in. We actually get rid of one of the Immortals. The Zealots are still very choked up. They're trying to fight through the Zerglings at the moment. Finally, they get out. They might be able to truly join this battle. That's a lot of Roach Ravager, though, and the Zealots in the front lines, there's just not enough of them. The Sentry's all dropping, too. Hero's army supply ain't going to cut it here, as Solar is going to fight his way back on Persephone. And I think we've got ourselves a Game 3 on the horizon, which, like I say, is lovely to see. Roach Ravager will go after the rest of those probes. We pull back the other direction. There's an Immortal right there that we can jump onto. Going to see that Immortal taking a few more shots. The Zealot's going down as well. Another probe coming over. That's going to go down also. And GG gets called. It's 1-1, and Solar threatens the potential of a ZVT finals as he moves into that 1-1 scoreline. Can he take another map off Hero? Wouldn't it be wild that the first time we offer like a special seed from winning a WardiTV Monday, it's the first time that someone not MaxPax, CLEM, or Hero win since like November? That would be pretty crazy, right? Again, we've only ever seen 3 players that aren't MaxPax, Hero, and CLEM win this tournament. Shin has won 1, ByuN once, he won the first ever edition, which was arguably the weakest lineup, and Trap has won 1 time as well. It's kind of crazy, right? Killer's Mile are going to be the 3rd map. These guys playing all the new maps. Isn't that cool? You thought it was Persephone? No, it's Persephone. It's a Greek goddess. It's a Greek name. It's a Greek goddess. Yeah, it's Persephone. Solar needs a minute. All good with us as we are going to be taking a sec. A ZVT finals? That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Have we ever had... We must have had a like a CLEM Shin final or something. I actually don't... I think both times Shin's been in the finals, he played MaxPax, actually. Have we ever had a TVZ final? Holy shit, we've never had a TVZ final in a WardiTV Monday. Oh my god! That's crazy! I mean, I get it, because like I say, there's not a lot of times players that aren't CLEM, Hero, and MaxPax make the finals. Those guys have been so consistent in the online Monday Cups, especially. But that's still a pretty ridiculous statistic. Jesus. Today's crazy. It's honestly, it's so funny as well, because like I say, earlier today, at the start of the stream, I was like, I really felt as though, I really feel today is going to have some upsets. I feel like one of MaxPax, CLEM, and Hero isn't going to make round of 4 at least, and 2 of them didn't. Today is actually a little bit like, it's actually a bit crazy. I don't know what made me say it. I just had a feeling. I don't say this every week. Most weeks I'm like, I genuinely just expect, you know, CLEM, MaxPax, Hero. But, yeah. Wild. I don't know. I was just feeling it today. I'm not in tune with the StarCraft, guys. I can tell when the upsets are coming. Solar versus Hero. Killer's Mile. First time we're casting it today in terms of being in a WardiTV map, but I just love that we're seeing these maps being used. That's it's genuinely really cool. Obviously, as they get figured out a little bit more, they might become more kind of preferred vetoes for certain players, but right now they're just loving playing on some new maps. I'm all about it. Bottom left-hand side, red Protoss player is Hero. And in the top right, our blue Zerg is going to be Solar. Alright then, game 1 of this best of 3 as we get underway on game 1. Game 3 of this best of 3 as we get underway on Killer's Mile. As we just have a Hatch Gas and soon to be Pool coming in from Solar. Like I say, I swear down, I cast more games when a Protoss kills the third with DTs. I swear I cast more games where the Zerg wins than when the Protoss wins. Very cool, the new maps you play when you have 6 ladder maps to choose from. Yeah, I thought so too. I like to think that means we made some reasonable choices in terms of what to put on the map pool. Like I say, maybe it's just the freshness and the newness, and if nothing else, it shows the players want to at least play new maps, even if it's just figuring them out. I think that's a good sign, if nothing else, but yeah. The fact we've seen all 3 as well, I think is genuinely very cool. Very exciting. Very exciting. Drone gonna chase a probe, the Cybercore, and so all coming through. The hatchery coming up, a couple of queens are going to be on the way. Add some Zerglings on into there as well. And that drone is just going to chase that probe out through the natural and over toward the third base. Wing speed coming through, Nexus coming up, drones transfer across, and we get settled down for a few moments. Adept keep shading, trying to see where we can go to. Let's see our queen gonna fight. The Adept takes some damage, so a few hits coming through early on. Let's see our queen coming over. Wing speed setting up for a few moments as well. We're just going to come on a little bit of a journey across. The queen's going to fight. Oracle takes some damage. Five drones going down, so actually pretty nice start from here. Always good to get some of that harass going early. Yo, Luigi Gamer 1991, thank you for the 2-month resub. Amazing casting as always. Thank you. No worries. Thank you so much for the generous words. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Feelings keep on moving around. Yeah, we just get 10 more drones. Continue to come up. Twilight and the Forge coming in as well. So we get all of that underway. Just for the moment as well. So just again, getting this underway for a few moments. We get this going through. A couple of oracles are just going to be there. We get a couple of the gates coming about. Nexus charge and the +1 coming up as we speak. So again, we keep that underway for the moment. Couple of oracles are going to now be triple oracles, and they are going to be having 5 extra gates straight into that charge and the +1 as well, so we keep that moving very nicely at the moment, so no surprises there. And those oracles just going to activate, going to go chasing around onto the field Zerglings as well, so a little bit more damage being done. Working right off the get-go. The oracles are going to pull back a little bit. The few Zerglings coming back around. The oracles will activate. The Zerglings get chased. Again, try and put some work in for the early stages. Things going to come wrap around. A couple Stormers are going to get grabbed. A few probes coming about as well. I see the Zealots coming across. A couple of the Zerglings coming through as well. Again, Hydra about to finish. The Bane Nest coming through. Extra Zerglings plus a couple Hydras. Groove Spines as well. All of that coming around for the moment here. As our Lings and our Queens still moving about. Oracle going to drop another little Revelation down. We have got the Lings going to try and come through as well. Those Zealots are going to get jumped on. Queen's still pushing across. Bane Nest coming through. Get the extra Hydras on the way. And these Zealots of Hero are going to come pushing up as well. The Lings are going to come down. The Queens are going to be there. Zealots are still very much so chasing their way in. Is it going to be good enough? Obviously, just 16 Hydras on the way will be amazing if there's a front line to protect those Hydras. We need something in front of these Hydras so they get the chance to deal damage. Those Stasis Wards are huge, but the first round of Zealots is gone. Hero obviously has a lot more Zealots still working on the third base. If nothing else, Solar hasn't lost many drones yet, but his third hatchery is going to go down, so that's obviously not a great sign. Like I say, can we trade a good enough trade here where the Hydras can just fight off the Zealots without taking any damage? It's not impossible. Obviously, we can work with the chokes. We can get the Lings in front to try and protect as well. Stasis on that left side has to be pulled away from. Going to go off again. Now the drones are starting to drop too, as Heroes' Zealot count is dropping as well, though, and Solar will kind of save himself. The issue I see for Solar has a right side base he can take advantage of as well, as that pylon would be a great catch. The issue I see for Solar is getting across the map isn't really realistic. These Hydras take a few shots of damage here as well. We got more Lings, more Hydras coming up. We got to protect the Hydras. The Hydras are the DPS that make this defense something that can continue. As right now, Hero doesn't have too much army supply. Like I say, getting rid of this pylon would have been absolutely huge. Banes are massive against the Zealots, but we're trying to morph them in right away. We're going to still play around this choke point. Where do the Zealots want to step to? Blink on the way up as a follow-up to this as well. A few of those Zealots going to come charging through. The Lings and the Hydras are going to turn. Hydra's going to get surrounded. The Banes show up on the left-hand side, and now the Hydras are just going to be dropping. They didn't have enough protection for them, huh? The Banes are a great idea, but they've got to get good connections, and that's not going to be good enough. Hero will say, nuh-uh, no ZVT final today. And Solar will be dropping on down, and dropping out in the round of 4. Hero, though, with the 2-1 victory, gets through to the finals, and he will play a PvT against ByuN or Cure. That'll be coming up after the ByuN vs. Cure series. So ByuN vs. Cure is officially allowed to begin. If these guys are set and ready, we can go. And get that ready to roll out, guys. So we're going to get that set to go in just a few moments. Get that started very shortly. We'll just run some ads, guys. Obviously, get some ads in there while the players get hosted up. Oh! Yeah, I literally clicked the ad button the moment before we get a, before the lobby came up. Alright, well, either way, all good. Let's get everyone into this. Sometimes it happens. My hair? Yeah, my hair's, I don't know what it's doing, to be honest. I just pushed it up and it just got stuck. Do we have anyone else to be in here? I don't know. Well, the guys started anyway, so they're eager to play this TVT as ByuN and Cure is going to get into play. So let's kick this off. Let's get this started. And yeah, TVT. I was talking about this in the TLMC, but you don't actually see TVT all that much. So, yeah. A little bit of Terran versus Terran coming through, and let's see what we get. We're going to start on a new map, Persephone. I love it. I really am so happy that they keep on playing all the new maps. As we have in the bottom left-hand side, our Red Terran player here from the Shopify Rebellion. This is ByuN. On the upper left-hand side, our Blue Terran from Team Liquid, we have Cure. Alright, so we set this up, we get this going. Let's see what we're going to be doing for a few moments as we get this all underway. CC setting up, just going to be seeing the racks coming through, so we get this underway, ready to rumble over the next few moments. Just trying to see what our plan is. A little bit of Terran versus Terran, like I say, not a matchup we get to see all of the time. Reaper going to pop out there from Cure, going to come moving around a little bit. And, yeah, we'll see what ByuN wants to do as well. Both players have that factory coming up at the same time. So right now, some mirrored build ordering coming on through. And let's just have the factories finishing, and we'll see if either player takes a different direction with that factory. CC start on location for both players as well. Obviously a fairly mirrored situation right now as the Tech Lab starts. The CC's build. Reactor coming up on both sides of the map. We're going to get some shots off. We go back and forth. And Reapers just keep chasing for a few moments. Still got those Cyclones coming about as well. Have those reactors on. The barracks coming up from ByuN as we speak. And we get all of that underway. I'm just going to poke. Grenade's going down. Reaper's going back the other direction as well. That Reaper taking a few shots. We actually do get the kill as ByuN, and his Reaper stays alive. Is he going to lose the second Reaper? No, because he turns around with the other and says, cool, I'm going to protect my buddy. Marine's going to move about again. The racks and the reactor continue to come through for the moment. They're always coming through. Very fast stim from ByuN, so he just goes into our second rack. So would rather play a fast bio style than the tech heavy style, which is much more typical in a TVT. He's already on his way to Raven, which is, you know, a lot of people would say an absolute must for Terran versus Terran, right? So we get that up and rolling. I'm just going to be seeing the reactor dropping down the factory as well. Still got the stim pack coming through. The starport is going to come across, drop onto the reactor as well for a few moments. Get that underway. Cyclone the Marines gather up a Reaper as well. Interference Matrix continues to come on through. Just see the Raven building off the starport at the moment. Again, Interference Matrix very much so on its way through for now. It's just bringing that up and rolling. And Medivac is going to load up. We're going to move across. The stim is going to be done shortly, so this is where ByuN could already get some damage done nice and quickly here if he just gets in and gets a strike off. Let's see what he can do as the couple of units gather up. Medivacs are going to keep moving across. We're going to see a little scan coming down as the starport's going to move across as well. A few SCVs going to get jumped on as well, so a few workers going down. This racks are going to get cancelled. And the orbital command in some trouble. I mean, SCVs can pull in repair if necessary. Kira is across the map with the majority of his army, so it's important that ByuN does serious damage here. I think it'd be better for ByuN if he lifted and dropped on top of that siege tank. He's going to try and break through here right away. Again, he's got stimmed Marines, which helps, but already given up a lot of SCVs in this attempted defense. He drops down to 21 only, and Kira's going to have the numbers to break through this tank. Like I say, ByuN's going to have to go elsewhere to the dropship that he had across the map, and he goes into the natural now. And I think he lost a few too many Marines, maybe to the tank shots as well. Is that tank trying to siege up? We are going to get rid of it pretty quickly. So Kira's going to lose a little bit more of what he had to push with, perhaps. I mean, ByuN's mobility right now is helping him a lot. The fact that he might still get a lot more done is huge. Can't believe that Raven is such low HP. A Marine popping out could be huge. Target the Raven. Did we target it? No. Yep, we do in the end. So ByuN is now essentially safe. It's that siege tank. He really had a lot of time where he could have just lifted and gotten onto the siege tank. Not paying attention now is going to end up losing a few more Marines. Yeah, ByuN could have done so much better in the main base. I absolutely believe he could have jumped up into the medevac, jumped on that tank. If that tank goes down, the defense is just non-existent. Like, just completely non-existent. Marines, tank, Viking continue to come over. Marines, Vikings, the siege tank coming up. Just going to continue across for a couple of moments here as well. It's just coming straight on through. Tank's going to be there. A couple of tanks stepping up. Just start sieging. ByuN in a position where he's going to get some damage onto those tanks, but he doesn't target fire. So he actually loses a shot, and now his main base siege. And this is where I think the tech advantage can come into play in a big way. Having sieged up tanks and air control in the form of Vikings and just vision is huge. ByuN's going to be across the map again. He will get some more SCVs. Work count very even after all of this chaos. ByuN actually losing production, though. Losing the barracks right there. These Marines stimming for a few more SCVs. Now taking a worker lead. Lift up, but got to be careful. The Marines are shooting at that medevac. Meanwhile, ByuN is starting to clean up the tanks on this other side. Chaos in this game continues to ensue as the SCVs pull in. The Liberator going to come across as well. We are going to chase that medevac down as the medevac takes a few more shots. It's just about able to slip away at the moment. The few Marines unloading as we escape alive. I mean, every unit's going to count in a game like this. ByuN's about to be on 1-1. We're getting to a point where I actually think this is going to get into a little bit of a better position, so it's going to be able to get that coming straight through. Thanks for siege, Marines gather. Just having ourselves the racks and the rest continue to come up right here, so again, we get that underway. There's 1-1 upgrades, the stim pack coming up, armory and a couple of barracks coming through on the side of ByuN. Game really just settles here. I mean, it's funny because now I feel like ByuN maybe gets into a little bit of an advantageous spot because he already has the bio upgraded, and so maybe can get some stuff done with that bio right now, although I guess not enough units to maybe go and get too much done with, so it's still a little bit up in the air right now. Tank's going to siege across the front, the Marines are going to gather. Again, interference matrix still coming through, the armory and the barracks are still very much so building up right now. Marines and tanks gathering up as well. But armory's about to finish. We got the depot coming through. Again, add on a few more Marines in the siege tank. That Marine just gets shot down immediately. Add a combat shield upgrade into play. 1-1 upgrades, 2-2 on the way on the side of ByuN. So again, he will maintain an upgrade advantage as we're actually going to see Marines finding... What are they going to find? Other Marines here? You don't really want to fight Marine versus Marine when there's an upgrade difference, so Kira has to step back. At first, it maybe was going to be good for Kira, who could have potentially, jumped on the siege tanks if he'd seen them just a moment or two in advance. Kira has a very good spread of units, and so the attempt of a drop here from ByuN is not going to go very far. He sees pretty much everything, unless these Marines can clean out this Marine. then maybe we could still stim upwards directly into the main base. There's a bit of a surprise factor. That's going to be the play. There's still going to be one Marine there. We're just going to go for it and hope that the speed is enough. Medevac's over here. ByuN sees that, so he's going to be able to begin that preparation. The 2 tanks get out immediately. The Marines start to drop. They will stim to deal with these SCVs that pull in. The Marines go down very quickly. The tanks are going to live, and that's going to be huge because now we have position in the main base and on top of production. ByuN may want to step away from that tank. I mean, don't get me wrong. His Marines are so much better because having the combat shield was a huge difference. Now that combat shield upgrade evens out, but 2-2 is on the way from ByuN, so again, longevity here is definitely on ByuN's side. He's dealing even more damage now on a work the lead because Q just lost all of the SCVs he tried to pull in defensively. So all of those just go down. Marines here just going to get chased away as well. A couple of them dropping. The Medevac's going to be in trouble. It's going to be a pretty easy cleanup for ByuN as well as Q. Nothing really going his way. I mean, he's going to clean up in the main base, but after taking an absolute ton of damage, so it's not going to exactly help out. The other Marines are coming over, and the tank coming back around as well. Orbital still burning, and again, a couple of upgrades. 2-2 coming about here from ByuN as well. Missile turret will finish. We just see the Marines, the tank, the Vikings coming through. More tanks sieging up from Q on the front of that third base, and the Medevac's going to load up even more Marines. It's going to go boosting along. Load up even more Marines, boost a different direction. TT finishing from ByuN, and yeah, his upgrade lead is definitely going to be there. Obviously, Marines are not always the only thing to kind of think about in a TVT. Tank count is 8-4 in favor of Q, as this drop from ByuN is extremely hopeful. It's funny because with upgrades, he's going to win out anyways, even though he lost one Medevac just so quickly. That's kind of wild, the difference upgrades make in a TVT. One Medevac survives, going to go into the corner, very low HP. There are no Vikings currently out from Q, so you'll have to make one to be able to clean that up. And there's ByuN fourth base set up as well. That's an advantage he can take into his favor and just continue to roll with it for the moment. 3-3 coming through from ByuN, +1 vehicle weapons added on. The Marine is going to stim up. That Medevac does go down though, so that will go down as well. We still got the +2 attack and armor building up on the engineering base. +1 vehicle weapons continue to come about. The army of ByuN heading up to the top side, and again, I'll look to see what we can do as we swing around over here for these next few moments into this natural retry and run. Engineering bay is going to drop. A few Marines going down. We continue up in further into the natural as well. Orbital command is on fire. I mean, issue after issue here from Kira. This is a game where you're just going to try and stay alive as long as you can, but you're just losing more and more and more. As there's no stopping this group of Marines basically at this point. As the Medevacs, one of them is low as well, so even trying to get in there is going to be dangerous. And ByuN is just going to storm his way through every single production structure. You don't win the game without production, and yeah, these Marines are just getting a lot done. Another orbital will fall. SCV's dropping. We will leave, obviously, a few barracks alive. He's going to turn and fight. His Marines low HP. Still got the 2-2 to 2-1 advantage, so an armor lead there for ByuN. Obviously, this one seems to be pretty over. Q maybe considering the GG sooner rather than later. Going to unload on top of those tanks. There's a couple of tanks we'll hit. We will clean those up. A couple more Marines going down as well. We are just going to be seeing the army of ByuN coming up through the middle as well. 3-3 continues in, and that's going to be GG, says Q. ByuN takes a 1-0 lead in the best of 3. So ByuN takes the 1-0 advantage. And we will be heading into a game 2 in a few moments. It was a great opening game. Very entertaining, very fun. On one of the new maps. Persephone is, I mean, that's obviously a crazy game, but these new maps keep on giving us good games so far. Leyline's map number 2. One of my favorite maps from the other maps that are in the map pool. Alright, game 2 coming through, and it is going to be ByuN on the 1-0 lead. Can he advance through to play hero in that finals? That's what we're going to try and find out. you're enjoying the games today, guys, don't forget to hit the like button on the YouTube and the subscribe button as well. If you're on Twitch, you can follow. Don't miss more awesome StarCraft 2 as we bring you daily awesome StarCraft games. I say that we've actually been live every day for the last 9 days or so. Tomorrow will be a day off for me. I'm also away this weekend for a couple of days, but next week we've got a whole bunch more StarCraft starting back up again, so we will be busy and going and back on the grind. Beyond top right, our red Terran player is up a game, and he's going to go proxy mode for game 2, try and get an advantage early, as we have in the bottom left. Our blue Terran is going to be Team Liquid Skewer. As yo, Emmy Cracks, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. Thank you. There's SCV scouting across. It's a perfectly positioned barracks. It's good that it's an SCV scout from Cure because it tells him, unless this is actually an interesting time. I think this is a proxy Rex from Cure, no? No, is he just, he is scouting? No, he's going to proxy Rex, right? Yeah. I was going to say it's a weird scout timing because you're scouting so early before the gas comes down. So he's going to build a Rax. This gets really awkward because it's the question of full commitment versus part commitment. A lot of this is still going to come down to micro. Obviously, the first Reaper of Cure could commit in over here, but then he's not going to have anything on the way over here to help him out any further. So it's definitely going to get a little bit awkward very quickly. As Cure finishes up Barracks 1, ByuN starts his Reaper, Cure starts his. This is going to be worse for Cure because I think this barracks over here just does so much less than what the two barracks do for ByuN. Like, this barracks can send a Reaper in over here, but that does damage so slowly versus these Reapers just winning the fight and overwhelming in the main. I think this is on ByuN to mess up more so than it is looking reasonable for Cure. As now Cure's going to realize what's up, though. He sees this SCV returning home, so he's like, wait a second. That's interesting. Maybe going to sit tight and actually going to see Cure running down and is going to start taking some hits as he tries to run away. Grenade goes off. He actually gets an extra shot off. Oh, but ByuN gets the return in the end. So we are going to be seeing ByuN and Cure trading shots initially. Doesn't go one way or the other in particular. I'm going to try and jump up here. The SCVs are going to be there. The idea is you want to jump on top of that Reaper and get rid of it. If you get rid of the Reaper, that's huge. He's going to get rid of the Reaper. This is already going to be painful. There is another Reaper coming home, so Cure's decided to pull his Reaper back in defense, but ByuN's going to run into it, and he's going to have another Reaper there as well. He's going to get all the Reapers in range, and Cure's in trouble. 2 Reapers down already. ByuN actually built a Marine. Funnily enough, we're going to jump up here, with a very fast way to lose a Reaper and lose a bit of your advantage. Yeah, that's I don't love that one from ByuN. There's obviously so many SCVs off the line. This Marine's going to get hit by your own Reaper grenade. Obviously trying to get some SCVs, make the most of this. The Reapers will get a couple of kills. So surprised. I don't know why ByuN made a Marine. I don't know if that was just a misclick or what, but if it delays his Reaper production, that's painful. At home, ByuN about to finish his own factory. Cure's finished his own factory too, so not far from getting more answers to this. We're going to send all these Reapers across to go deal with this. Yeah, that Marine of ByuN is a real question mark. I think that is just a misclick. Like I say, a costly one, because if that's one more Reaper, even obviously a Marine builds faster than the Reaper, but say that's a Reaper that's halfway further along, that could make the difference in the end, right? So, as this Reaper's trying to play a getaway, it's going to get caught, and ByuN will prepare an expansion here as, obviously, yeah, another Reaper down for Cure. This one Reaper here might be able to loop around and get some more damage, though. ByuN has 5 Reapers, going to find the barracks, going to force that to lift. Cure knows now he's got an access into the main. Defense here is 3 Marines, a Reaper, and a Hellion, so I actually think the Reapers would struggle to do much, depending on the positioning of the defense. It depends if you stop the units getting in or not. Two SCVs going down. The Reaper's going to turn around from ByuN again. Sends 1 Rax forward, so you'll get a bit more information as to where things are at. The Cyclone building off the factory. His own factory going to get a tech lab going. Was that lifted for a while? No, he built a Hellion first. I thought it was in a bit of a different place. So he's got 5 Reapers and a Hellion. His CC protected. Obviously a lead on the command center timing, so you could just sit back and say, cool, I've got the CC timing lead. Does ByuN want to try and do anything extra here? He sees what's up with his barracks roughly as well. We'll continue to scout on through. We'll see the CC advantage that he has very shortly. What is interesting is that Cure's going to have a Rax advantage because he sends both, he brings this barracks home and already had a barracks at home, so it's going to be 2 Rax versus 1 essentially. So there is a little bit of a production lead there as ByuN perusing around. Cure's going to maybe go up this ramp, but ByuN just backs away from it, so the ramp would be free to move up. Yeah, ByuN just gonna pull back in total. Has his own Cyclone now available. Medevac popping shortly. He's gonna be able to jump on that Reaper quickly. That's a good shutdown. Another unit just down from Cure, and it's just early game units, but early game units do add up to something right now. Let's be realistic, as we're actually going to take the Reapers and the Hellion in a Medevac. The Cyclone just going to be left at home for defense, so that's going to be ByuN's choice to try and deal damage. I like it though, because the Medevac's going to let the Reapers and so come in from a different angle, and so much of this defensive Cure relies on being kind of well positioned. So if these units unload in the corner and Cure doesn't see the corner of his base, which he doesn't see this little corner here right now, I believe. Yep, okay, fixes it. Perfect. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So that becomes less of a factor, although now it's actually ByuN who's lining up at the front. Command Center will finish shortly. ByuN is already building his third CC, so that's a difference between the two again. A couple grenades going down. Marines getting hit. The Cyclone's locking on, chasing the Hellion away. Another grenade or so coming down as well. Medevac comes through, the few Marines moving about. And we'll see. It's just, a few Reapers moving about with this Medevac, trying to find openings, still trying to find some use of them right here. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's a few SCVs we can easily get kills on. As Reapers throw some grenades down as well. SCVs get popped back towards the Reapers. Finally going to actually get a couple of those kills. It's actually very successful. 5 kills, 6. Low HP SCV still remaining, by the way. Up to 8. Wow. 9. 10? Easily. 11? I couldn't believe how much we got done. 11 SCVs die. That is almost the entire difference in worker count right now. Which is kind of crazy. Big unload into the main base of ByuN. This is the advantage of having that double racks. We saw it from ByuN in the last game. Having that stim is very powerful, and so Q comes straight through. 11 SCVs dead to the Reapers. Well, good thing ByuN got it, because in the end it's going to be all those SCVs dying in return here. Now, this is going to be Q losing all of his units, but he traded okay unit-wise as well, I would say. ByuN comes out of this down an army supply. And we actually have a group of units here from Q threatening the idea of a siege up out the front of ByuN's base, so it'd be scary for ByuN in the next little while. There's a couple of units split across the top, a few units split across the right side. Medevac loads up, and ByuN is going to see some of the units here. Wow. These guys are playing some chaotic TVTs, that much is for sure. As we move over here, we're going to see a group of units as well. ByuN's like, wait, you've got units absolutely everywhere. Wherever I'm trying to go, I'm just getting caught. Such a great drop in. Now, ByuN does have that third CC. He built that up so quickly, but it's not being able to move out. Losing map control will do that to you. And it's so funny how just getting that second barracks home for Cure while ByuN committed his to scouting has definitely made an impact in this game as well. Impact 1-1 upgrades all coming through. The Marines will gather on the main base. Cyclone patrolling off to the side. Marines load up, a couple tanks gather. Gonna boost forward here, Cyclone gonna be there. Medevac already taking some damage. It's gonna be a stim in from ByuN to play defense. He does have matrixes available, probably matrix that back tank. He matrix both. I think the front tank didn't need to be matrix perhaps, but in the end he's actually running out of units, so he actually did kind of need it. Maybe a matrix plus an order turret would have been better. It's difficult to make those calls in the moment, of course. That's the difficulty of playing with and against those Ravens. It's not always just a guarantee and an obvious choice. Hellion pulls back over. Medevac still in the center. Marine tank moving back as well. 1-1 upgrades coming about. Out of combat shield in. Army of Q just pulls back down that left-hand side. So Marines and tanks will continue to settle in. Tanks are going to siege up. The upgrades coming through from Q. +1 in the combat shield from ByuN. He already had the armor upgrades. He's going to have an upgrade lead on the bio units now. As let's take a second to look at this, right? Worker count is even. ByuN just needs to get the third base in location. It's probably one of the bigger downsides that he has at the moment. He's actually going to get a few SCVs here as well for this Marine drop. That's a very low commitment play. 5 Marines in the medevac, going to get 7 SCVs. I'm not sure he was targeting in the end there, but he's going to get 9 SCVs, 10 SCVs. So that really ain't so bad. He's actually going to be on a worker lead again. Army supply deficit, but has the 1-1 advantage. Unfortunately, that will not lead as much into 2-2 because the armory is late. I'm going to go ahead and say we're in a very playable position though as ByuN. Like, maybe overall maybe not the best, but like he's got a couple of advantages. He's got his 3rd base now down on position. I guess let's see what this attack does, but he's also the player that has 2 Ravens. So having 2 Ravens, we always talk about how important a Raven is in TVT. He'll get sick of me saying it. So having 2 Ravens available right now is massive defensively. Matrix is available, auto turrets potentially. It can absolutely offset a fight, and in a matchup that oftentimes comes down to like, oh my god, this is it, the big moment. The fight comes through, you drop, the matrices, and that decides everything. And that can be a big factor, as it's a massive load up here, but we do have a little bit of vision, and we've got missile turrets. So this really depends on what you're going to try and do here. I'm just going to go for the boost in. Like I say, there is going to be the missile turrets available. He's going to Matrix a bunch of the medevacs, so not that much is going to unload, but a bunch of the tanks do unload. Unfortunately, all the medevacs that are Matrixed are going to be medevacs that have Marines inside only, so you're going to have to push through this siege tank still, which is costly for ByuN. I mean, it's kind of weird. It feels like Cure loses a lot, but ByuN also loses a lot too. We drop an auto turret to help clean up. And Cure loses everything in the end. It was one of those cases where ByuN's going to lose a little bit more attacking in, but the cleanup's going to be very good in his favor. ByuN kind of just let him move in there. I think ByuN thought he was always going to get a good trade, and I love the matrices. I actually do think is it unlucky that he hit the tanks with, or the medevacs with Marines in? Because if he hits the medevacs with tanks in, the tank one tank might go out anyway. Stopping all the Marines coming out, you stop the support for the tanks, which really reduces what they can do. Really cool use of the Matrix. You don't see that every day, but it tilts how that drop goes. There's 2 more medevacs around the top, but there's missile turrets here again. Don't think this is a droppable position any longer. I don't think that's something that we can really see much of at the moment. Wow, he actually gets in through the top. I stopped looking at it because I didn't think much was going to happen, but he actually gets in through the top. Only that 1 missile turret shot and it spread the damage. Yeah, a little bit of a frustrating one. A few Marines, a few SCVs going down. We do lose everything again as Cure, though. ByuN trying to push himself on this other side. He's moments away from his 2-2 upgrades, but I don't think he's going to find a fight where he can maybe make the most of that. A few more units will stream out from the main base, coming out toward the 3rd. This medevac boosting along through the bottom as well. A few siege tanks are going to set up as well. 2-2 upgrades finishing shortly. Marines, tanks, and medevacs coming up. Add a couple reactors onto the barracks. And yeah, those medevacs going to sit on that bottom side. Missile turrets setting up tight. +1 vehicle weapons coming through. Still got the armor upgrade coming about. The Cyclone will go down as well. It'd be nice if we can keep that depot alive. Some vision against these drops would be nice, but I think we're probably more likely going to have to replace it than anything else. ByuN does begin a +3 armor. Hopefully soon a +3 attack upgrade as well, because that will be like another kind of stage of this game where you can get an upgrade lead in, but it looks as though Q is going to finally play catch up on upgrades. He's been a little bit cleaner at getting the next one started than what ByuN has been. I'd also like to see like one more turret here, because I really feel like you want to shut down that drop plane. Make sure you're shutting it down properly. ByuN's going to see this army. Skew's going to see this army. What we're going to do, tank siege comes in faster from ByuN, hits the anti-armor missile. This is a one-sided fight. You don't win a fight like that as Q, as the medevac will save 2 tanks. Yeah, absolutely crushing blow. At the same time, ByuN drops onto the 3rd base. Couple tanks going to siege up at home. We might be able to just brute force down the 3rd. We're going to step away and play sensibly. We're going to go into the main. But there's medevacs. Marine's going to be here to deny those medevacs. However, ByuN will siege the 4th. So he will get a base here in the end, because I don't think we save this 4th base in the slightest. I'm going to try and siege up some tanks. That's just out of reach. The base goes down. I'm going to try and play evacuation on some SCVs. Obviously, some will go down. The medevac gets chased but doesn't die. ByuN extending his lead in this game. Obviously, that drop was well handled by Q. Having some Marines in the main was a huge factor. But ByuN being able to win this fight over there and being able to strike in 2 times the same place, I think that's why Q was a bit slow and didn't really fight properly up here, because he was so convicted to try and defend this or figure this position and that attack out as well. Now ByuN's dropping into the natural expansion. That's not what you want to see if you're Q, as ByuN is going to get a ton more SCVs. That lead is just going to build and build. And ByuN has a good army at home, so as Kua prepares to maybe counterattack as an answer to this, ByuN's already thought about it. He's thought, what could I lose to? A big stim of Marines across the map? Well, yep, he's in position, so he's not going to let that happen either. Marines are going to find even more SCVs. I mean, Kua really is just running out of answers extremely quickly. Like I say, this had potential. It's just ByuN is too well prepared for it. SCVs are going to try and save the base. Anti-armor missile. A lot of Marines will begin to go down. We don't save the base, but it doesn't matter. Kua has to say GG. ByuN with the 2-0. He's going to move to the finals of this WardiTV Monday edition 26. And he will move on through into that. And that is going to be ByuN in that matchup. So there we go. There we go. Alrighty, guys. That's going to be GG's. And we are going to have our finals set. It's ByuN versus Hero in the finals. Best of 5 TVP. ByuN coming through. Good run from him today, by the way, versus Classic, versus CLEM, and versus Kua. And now going to play Hero in this finals. So that is going to be our setup, guys. It's going to be ByuN versus Hero, best of 5 TVP. Round this out. I'll see you guys on the other side of this. We'll be right back. Hello, guys. We're just waiting for ByuN and Hero to veto up and go into this grand of finals. Best of 5 coming through in just a few moments. Get this underway. Thank you for taking a second with us as we get ready for that. And like I said, best of 5 TVP. First time the finals is going to feature someone that is not named ByuN, not named CLEM, Hero, or MaxPax since January. It's a rare occurrence. ByuN, he has 1 win in the WardiTV Mondays and no second places. Like I say, there's only 4 times... There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ever instances over 50 instances where players not named Hero, MaxPax, and CLEM are in the finals. So that alone is pretty interesting. As our map order here is Leylines, Killer's Mile, Sandworm, El Dorado, and Persephone map 5 if we get that. So yeah, these guys are really happy to mix in some of the newer maps as well. That means both of them picked one of the new maps, because, yeah, it's AB, AB, so whoever picked Killer's Mile, the other player picked Sandworm just afterwards, so very cool. Alright, so it's ByuN versus Hero. Alright, I'll host it. We're getting all confused right now. Alright. You think we're good? No, never mind. Alright, we're gonna go into Hero ByuN. We just hosted like 7 different lobbies to try and get this underway. But we're good, we're on the way, and we are heading into ByuN versus Hero, our finals today. Let's kick this off and see what's going to happen. Let's get this underway and started. Go, go, go. Alright, thanks for joining us today, guys. WardiTV Mondays. If you're enjoying, we're 5 subs away from hitting the 700 subs again. We're constantly trying to push back to that 700 sub counter. Yeah, it helps us to support more StarCraft 2 tournaments. If you enjoy what you're watching, if you enjoy these regular Monday events and so on, do consider putting out a sub. We put in a lot of money into tournaments and prize money and stuff like that, and we can only do that with your support. So do consider subscribing. We also have the Patreon page, patreon.com/WardiTV. If you want to check that out, 100% of your pledges on Patreon go directly into WardiTV tournament prize pools. So do check that out. I absolutely encourage it, because the Patreon is a fantastic way for you guys to support more of that taking place. So yeah, definitely check that out as well. As we get into this best of 5, it's Hero in the top right, it's ByuN in the bottom left. Should have a bit of prediction right now. Let's do it. Let's set up a prediction for you guys. I'm being a better streamer, you see. I'm putting up predictions and stuff like that. I'll put one up in the YouTube as well. I like the fact we had a YouTube poll. See how many people are feeling ByuN or Hero on the YouTube as well. I like it. Some chat in. Look at us interacting with the stream. All right, ByuN, as he gets the engineering bay blocked down, plenty of gas in play, and we get this up and ready to roll for game number 1 of the best of 5 series. Let me find my favorite observer. They're not in the clickable numbers. There we go. And we'll follow their camera because they're a very good observer. And better than me observing the whole game, I promise you that much. So, Reaper on the way out, the orbital command coming through. We settle down here as the few probes are going to nibble, and the engineering bay is going to cancel. We drop a Nexus into place. And the probe just going to go back and forth a little bit as well. It's just a little bit of a patrol there. Cybercore coming through. Nexus on the way as well. And continue to get that up and rolling. Drop that assimilator down. It's just going to get that straight into position. Again, the pylon drops into place. And that Nexus coming through as well. Again, the Adept, the probe, continue to come online as the reactor and the factory coming up as well. CC coming about, SCV on the way. Adept just going to Corona boost. I'm just going to be seeing the Nexus coming around, the battery coming up. Adept going to fire. Ripper on, taking a couple of shots already. Just going to fire. The reactor will take some shots. Again, the Stargate finishing up in a few moments. The Cyclone, the Marines coming through. The Adept will chase, get that Reaper. Able to make that grab. Starport finishing very, very shortly. And we do have the Oracle Corona boosting up on the Stargate as well, so we get that underway. Have ourselves the Medevac, the Cyclone, the Marines continue through, the couple of Adepts gather in, Phoenix coming up. So Hero playing a bit of a different opener, you know, playing some Phoenix already, not going to go directly into the Twilight Council. A bit of a different setup here. And let's just see the Marines, the Cyclone gathering, the Oracle continuing through. Medevac boosts away to the other direction. And again, Cyclone, Marines, all continuing up for the moment. As that Cyclone locks on, that Oracle gets chased away to the sides. Extra Marines continue to come about currently, so just again bringing that through for the moment. Seeing the Marines, the Cyclone all gathering together. The Phoenix still coming across as well. Link building. Cyclone the Liberator coming up. And we do have ourselves these attacks coming in. Definitely looking a little bit scary, looking a little bit feisty right from the very get-go. So away we go. Get that started up right off the bat. Again, Cyclones, the Marines moving back the other direction. Liberator Marines coming through as well. So just a bit of everything getting going for the moment here. ByuN just continues this pressure though, which has to scare Hero a little bit. Halfway done to blink, so those Stalkers are not as protectable as usual even still. Yeah, definitely got you playing with a little bit of caution here right now, it feels like. But ByuN has ended up backing off. He feels as though his time is done. And so on to the next step of this all. Yeah, blink finishing obviously gives Hero some more potential. Kind of a wild one, right? Oracle Phoenix just into that blink. Always feels like such a scary way to play this as ByuN pulls the SCVs. Bio trying to get into reach. Hero just going to recall because he's obviously stuck. If Stim finished at any point there, he was going to be in trouble, but he actually had a little bit more time. He could have maybe blinked one more time, maybe got to the natural even. Combo of attacks from ByuN doing work as Hero's just not realized the Liberator in the main base is chunking through his worker line. Hero, that is way too late of a reaction. 15 dead probes. This is not the kind of game you win as Hero, because now ByuN is going to get those bio upgrades, and Hero's going to be extremely weak compared to where he should be, because his economy has been absolutely battered throughout the last little while. ByuN starting strong here. As the bio sets up and Medevac loads up over to the side. Cyclone locks on, bio gonna stim. These Stalkers are gonna get chased away. Combat shield and cluster shells also being added on into this, so again a little bit of a bonus right now. Marine's gonna stim up, a few more probes dropping. I mean, this is just a disaster. I don't think Hero's going to start winning on any single angle. He's going to lose on this third base. He's losing in the main. I don't think the extra Stalkers help. I mean, they help, I guess, if you give up every single probe on the base, and even then, GG's. ByuN is going to take convincing game number 1. Look at ByuN go. Opening up with power, and he's going to take the opening series. Isn't that awesome for ByuN? Look at him go, go, go. What a great start in this finals. ByuN has not made the finals of WardiTV Monday since the first edition, where he did win over Gumiho in that grand final back then. It was a 3-2 victory. And, yeah, starts off this final with a 1-0 lead as we host into Killer's Mile for our second map here. Get this ready to go. Everyone in. Get ready to go. Got a swap going. We're gonna have a regame because there's no game hot. How long ago was that? About 26 weeks ago. This is edition 26. We've had one a week. There's been maybe like a week here or there where we didn't do the Monday Cup because we were traveling from Home Story Cup or something along those lines. But give or take, it's about 25 to 26 weeks. It's been a long time. Like I say, this event is completely dominated by MaxPax, Hero, CLEM. These guys dominate the top spots week after week. ByuN doesn't play every week either, in fairness. He's had a good few top 4s. Just hasn't broken into that. I mean, ByuN has been in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 top 4s. So, you know, over 50% of the time he's hitting top 4. Just the breakthrough into top 2 when MaxPax and CLEM are playing so well is extremely difficult. Killer's Mouth on map number 2. Is in the bottom left-hand side our red Protoss. It is going to be Hero. Taking on the blue Terran, who's up a game in the top right. It is ByuN on this new map. Let's jump on to Inu's point of view and see what he's popping, having a look at, see if he's checking the map out at all. Obviously, we've seen this map a whole bunch the last week or so with the TLMC. But, yeah, it just shows a few maps that I enjoyed that I thought were pretty safe picks to put into the map pool as well. And, yeah, we've seen them being picked a whole bunch, so I'd say it's pretty nice. Cool to see as the racks and the gas come through. And we get ourselves settled in for the first couple minutes of build ordering. We obviously have one barracks proxy here, so ByuN. Maybe a tech lab on there, maybe some marauders up. Trying to get a bit of a cheeky game number 2 under his belt here. Tech lab drops in. SCV moving about. See our next is building up as well. Sentry in the warp gate continuing through. Sentry pops the hallucination. It's going to send that straight out right there. Again, the concussive shell's coming up, the marauder coming through. Eric's going to get a reactor underway for the moment. And of course, we wait for these marauders as Hero tries to figure out what's going on. That hallucination should give him some good info. And will that information be enough to adjust the defenses in his favor? An extra battery up, for example, would be huge, or any battery. And he does battery up in the main base. Bunker out the front. I mean, if ByuN gets a cancel on the Nexus, I think he's very happy. So just bunkering out the front is a very safe way to approach to the first. The batteries are both on the high ground. Reachable for Hero while attacking down here. See what we can do. Does he want to try and focus down, I wonder, a sentry? The SCV, sorry. I'm saying that just because the sentry wasn't to fire. The probe's beginning to pull. That Stalker's going to go down. Easy. That's an easy kill on the Stalker. The Marauder going to keep on pulling. Another Marauder showing up in a second. We're about to have the bunker. We will get at least one Marauder in the bunker. That's huge. Another Stalker falling from Hero already. And the SCV also still alive to repair. So that's just huge across the board. Because now you're going to keep on taking damage here. Now there's another battery coming down into place. As reinforcements show up, we could just cipher them off to the right side and force these probes to stop mining off the mineral line as well, so you can cause more disruption to the mine than what you've already achieved. Immortal is on the way. It's going to be a huge part of the defense. Let's just put some damage out. The more damage you put out right now, the better, right? The important thing here is you just try and drain the battery of energy. Reinforcements obviously pretty slow from ByuN. Marines walking from across the map. The Marauders coming in from that left side is a little bit faster. Here's the Immortal. And we'll take some shots off the Marauders as well. Remember, we drained some of the energy off that battery, which is important. Third Marauder about to show up. Battery energy gone. ByuN steps away. I think he realizes what's up. Oh, the force field does not catch too much. Right, really good timing to back away from ByuN. That's a good force field there to get a Marauder kill, but you're forcing the sentry energy to be used at least to get the kills. You didn't just kind of stand there and lose a couple of units and then try and back away and lose more in the process, right? The Bio just retreats. The Marauder coming up. Stalker going to take some damage. I mean, ByuN just decides to fight this in the center. One sentry goes down. Micro not as on point from here as you might usually expect it to be. Turns around. An extra Marine's about to show up. It's a welcome sight. As the sentry goes low again. As welcome sight, just some extra damage against that Immortal. As Hero keeps on trying to push at the moment. ByuN will get back to a bunker at home. Stimpak on the way. And Hero going to play a 2-base Robo style for the next few moments. Marauder popping. Army of Hero gathers. Immortal in the main base nearly goes down. Got some damage done as well, but some positives, some negatives. This barracks still being used as well. Hero did not go to hunt that down at all. Now on his way to prison speed. Is that another Immortal that's out? We scan the natural. There is a Robo Bay done, but we're not getting a Colossus or anything. We're not getting any kind of like additional tech unit. The scan was just out of reach of the Robo Bay. I mean, Stim is done very soon as well. It's obviously going to make life a whole lot easier for the Terran, defensively. Maul's very tanky. One of the benefits here as well, get some good efficiency as the SCV is getting under attack on the natural. So ByuN takes more damage and mining time lost as well. Definitely something that adds up. As ByuN waits to reveal his Stim. Obviously, we do have Medivacs on the way. Stim, I think, is done now. The army just pulling back. The rest of the Bio gathering still. A couple more mules are dropping straight into play too. We have 5 SCVs as the Disruptor Shot comes in. It's going to be seeing the Medivacs loading up and away they go. This Disruptor going to try and find SCVs, but it's very dangerous to shoot when the tank's in reach and the other units get there as well. Now they're dropping to the natural. Once the Twilight Council, he's going to say it's worth committing to, so we're going to get the Twilight Council here, lift up and get out. No, he doesn't get it, but we can drop low ground. We get it. So Blink gets denied. That's going to keep Hero on so much lower tech than what he would have been on otherwise. And ByuN still only on 2 bases. Do we start a third behind this, or do we just commit to trying to fight? I don't know if his army supply is good enough to just commit to trying to fight, honestly. We might have denied Blink, but we're still on, you know, some Robo units. So there is still some tech in play in general. Fire steps up. Disruptor taking some damage. Couple Stalkers going down. I mean, the splitter from ByuN is definitely finding some efficiency. This Disruptor is going to struggle to find anything when it can just be jumped on by a group of Bio. Medevac drop into the natural, but Hero keeps some units split here. That's why his army on the left side is having that, much of a struggle. I feel like rebuilding the tech lab on this barracks is cheeky, but the sort of thing that you might not expect. With Blink right now, this would be a lot easier of a defense as well, but again, denying that Twilight has definitely added into ByuN being able to be a bit more aggressive and being able to keep the pressure up for that little bit longer. Because now he can just keep on dropping, but 4th and 5th racks, no 3rd base, he's just fully sending this. Once he gets rid of some probes, he's going to make it difficult for Hero to have an economy. We grab a sentry there. ByuN is basically just trying to find efficiency across many different small fights in this game. That is his approach for the future. Disruptor shot doesn't hit nothing at all. Just about good to get the Disruptor out of there alive as well, so he's able to retreat from that without issue. Prism takes a turn, the army coming across from ByuN. Couple Marines going to get underneath that hallucination immediately, and now the entire Bioforce coming over. Tech Lab going to get taken out as well. Army of ByuN back down into the middle here. The Prism is going to join up. The Pylon is going to finish. Disruptor shot trying to land, doesn't quite manage it though, as the Bio and the tanks continue to the south. Well, we scan it up, and Disruptor very nearly going down as well. The tanks are going to be a big factor here. If there's a way for ByuN to make it work, it would probably be the siege tanks. He did actually get engineering bays, and now 1-1 on the way, funnily enough. He has to work off these tanks so much. He needs such a good fight here down in army supply. Let's see if we can find it. Let's see if the tanks are good. Like I said, Blink is now available, so he can engage a bit more easily than before. Let's see as the Stalkers blink through. They want to get rid of some of the tanks here, and they are getting rid of them. Oh my god, there's like 5 Immortals as well. Immortals are so good in this situation. The chaos from ByuN is not going to be enough. Hero is going to have game number 2, it seems. And we are going to go 1-1 in this best-of-5 final. Exciting. Really felt like the start was looking pretty good from Hero as well. Sorry, from ByuN as well. Like, I felt like he did well getting the bunker up and everything. Just, yeah, I couldn't quite capitalize that Immortal that showed up really was the end of that in the end. As ByuN actually didn't have a solid combat shield as well. That's obviously sad. I don't think that makes much of a difference though overall. I don't think that would have been changing too much. As we step up and we move through. Marauders are going to fire. Disruptor shot coming in. Just going to miss the Marauders for a few moments. Medevac going to be right there as well. We had the upgrades on. The charge coming through. The Marauders going to get in after those probes also. Rax coming across. +2 attack, +1 armor. Charge as well. All coming by. Colossus will get some SCVs. The Ghost Academy take some hits. The Viking... It's just GG. We're just waiting for it to be admitted. And there it is. 1-1 tied up between ByuN and Hero in the best of 5. Alright. Fun games. Guys, that was Killer's Mile, which is one of the TLMC maps. If you watched the TLMC over the last week, you should go vote on the maps. Voting is open, and just post the link in the Twitch chat if you would like to go and find that. And vote for your favorite maps from the last week of TLMC. So you guys can go check that out. Do go check that out. Always appreciate it. As Shiki comes in with the Prime sub, I appreciate it. I also want to say thank you to Emmy Cracks, who came in with some very nice words after subscribing a little bit earlier today. Thank you so much. I did read them. Just, it was mid-game. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We are now only 4 subs away from 700, guys. If you've got a Prime sub, it's a perfect time to utilize it, because you could be one of the people to get us back to 700 subs for the 50th time. 700 subs is a really weird number that it is just our ping pong number right now. We either go just above it and drop back down, and we get back to it, we just drop back down. It's definitely our ping pong number lately, but, or a yo-yo number, I guess, up and down rather than across, side to side, maybe, arguably. Hero ByuN, Game 3. Sandworm, another of our TLMC maps that we've added to the map pool. Already been watching for years, never commented, never subbed, but wanted to tell you thanks for all the content. You don't get the credit you deserve. Ignore any negativity. We love your streams. Thank you so much, Chicky. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for using the Prime on the channel. Supporting the StarCraft 2. We thank you. Alright, hell yeah, let's do it. In the bottom left-hand side, our red Protoss is Hero. As in the top right, our blue Terran is ByuN. And we get into Sandworm here for Game 3 of the series. Win this and you get to move on to match point. Which is also very nice. It's been a fun map. I've enjoyed this one. Ranks coming through, gateway coming up, and we get settled down. As we take a few moments to just get that all underway. We're gonna nibble. We go back and forth. Obviously, CC just coming down. Next is on the way as well. Sandworm has definitely started to give us some pretty solid games. Okay, question Twitch chat. Are you guys surprised at how much we're seeing these new maps in this map pool? I really am. I'm very happy for it, but I'm genuinely surprised how much they've made it through the veto process today. I thought in a tournament people would just be like, you know what? Let's just, veto the maps we don't know as much and play the maps we know. I think it's really cool that the players have been so open to playing these games. It's been sick. Yo, WardiTV, thank you so much for the 9-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Keep using the Primes, guys. You know what to say? Twitch Primes make StarCraft 2 dimes, where the dime is obviously great games of StarCraft. Yep, that's what they say. There's got to be more stuff that rhymes with, like... Oh, that's a good one. More primes means more StarCraft 2 times. There you go. I got there in the end. I just needed a... I really just need to have, like, a list of things that rhymes with prime. If I have that list, I can just say something different around Twitch Prime every time, basically, you know? There's the Marines and the Hellion here. And some real evidence to trying to get that Adept. Oh, the Marines block the Hellion, and both Adepts get away. Oh, I've got a good one. Use your Twitch Prime and watch the StarCraft 2 tournament prize pools climb. There you go. That's a great one, no? Oh, yeah, there we go. We're going to use that one. You guys just forget you heard that one. And then next time you use it, you can be like, whoa, that's amazing. Tech Lab coming up. Rover facility and gateways continue to come through. And as we do have our blink obviously halfway, and that's where we're going for the moment. So get all of this up and rolling. There is the Raven obviously coming through, the Siege Tank and the Marines on the way in. Medevac will just linger around the side for a couple of moments. And the Prison coming as Hero gets ready to apply some pressure. It's obviously a flat ramp into the natural, so that's a good position for Stalkers to obviously poke away. They don't have to go up the ramp or anything, which is obviously brilliant. That's a major plus. 2 Stalkers, 2 Adepts, and here we're going to take the 3rd base of the gold. So obviously it's only the rocks that are stopping you from mining there, and so you can pop that straight down. That's actually a really interesting part about this gold base. I've obviously mentioned the idea of being able to put the Nexus down, but this is a great example of what that changes. Because by being able to put the Nexus straight down here, you know, usually 3rd base timing is very important, and it's very difficult for pros to have a lot of units to clean these rocks up quickly without, you know, giving up pressure or so on. But you can see it right here that in this case, we can put on the pressure, get the Nexus down, and obviously we're not affected by these rocks because we've got time to clean them out. Now, the Adepts are the only things left here for a moment. The Cyclone will get one of them. The Raven is making moves as well, so let's see how we continue through. One turret coming about, again, the couple probes setting up as well. Another barracks comes in over on the side. +1, Stim, Marauder, Rax. All of this continue to come through for the moment, as we just have our Stalkers. We'll finish up these rocks over the next few moments, so we get that finished. The Prism going to move back in. So just away we go. A couple Stalkers going to go pinging away. We'll see Hero keeping this pressure up with that War Prism for the foreseeable future. Extra gates coming up, battery coming through. Three probes is going to mine away in the gold. The Bio going to get there. A couple Stalkers get chased. And here comes the SCV pulse. So ByuN very serious about just trying to end this early. It makes sense with the gold base. It's a more easily attacked base than usual as well, right? And in the very least, there's a more chance of a way for you to get rid of this gold than usual. Tanks Not Siege, though, as Hero is very ready to fight it. Comes in with a charge on the right-hand side. Anti-on missile hitting Terran and Protoss units alike. The Zealots closing the gap. The Immortals getting held up on the SCVs, which is what you want as ByuN, but there's a lot of units left to fight that Bio. Is it enough? We pull back to the battery for a few moments, use some force fields for some extra time. 3 Immortals is quite a punch to be packed. As we try and set up some of these Widow Mines, we're going to get the those taken out as well, so that's a big plus as well. We're going to step forward again. The Siege Tank going to go down. The Marauders dropping. This is looking like a perfect spot on defense from Hero, who cleans up, pushes back. ByuN obviously pulled the SCVs into this. He is not playing a long game. These Immortals are just going untouched. They have been such MVPs. Having that chunky backline in amongst this great gateway force, absolutely critical and huge for Hero to take a 2-1 lead in this best of 5 final. Hero a map away from his only ever 3rd WardiTV Monday Championship. He won one 2 weeks ago. He won one back in December. And last week he was in the finals, lost to CLEM 3-2. This week he's making it count, it seems, as we get ready for map 4 in a couple of moments. Hero looking good. Defense improving. And getting absolutely on point here. Excuse me. Guys, I'll just take one more time. Essentially the last time today, just ask you again. I know selling out is a thing. It's unfortunately a very powerful maneuver technique. But do check out the, if you're on the YouTube, hit that like button. Even if you like at the end of the stream, it's super useful because then the VOD gets recommended to more people. And more people end up watching. More viewers means more revenue. More revenue means more StarCraft. More StarCraft means more streams. More well, cycle is complete. Like, if you're on the YouTube as well, please consider subscribing. I know a lot of you guys are subscribed. If you're not, please consider hitting that sub button on the YouTube. But really, I really feel like we can hit 50,000 YouTube subs this year. Like, that's not easily done. I really feel like we can do it if we push for it and we keep having great tournaments. So that's the challenge I'm setting forth to achieve. We'll see if we can do it. We'll see if it's possible. Anything else to say? No, that's my sellout for now. It's a YouTube like and subscribe sellout section. Just like that. Cool. We did the primes last game, right? We did the Twitch bot last time. We've got to split them sellouts up. Hero is leading the series. He's down in the bottom left-hand side. In the bottom right, our blue Terran is ByuN. Thank you so much to Miravus Pants for coming in with the Prime sub as well. Lots of Primes today, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Where are we going to go for this potentially final game? Can ByuN bring it back? He's been quite aggressive in this series. It hasn't really been working out so much in the last couple of games as we get up and running. Obviously CC coming through, Rax coming up, and we get settled down for a couple of moments here. Stargate coming through, gets settled down. You see our Adept moving over, a little bit of a step over to the sides. As we just settle ourselves against Stargate, the Adept, the Warp Gate all continue to come on through for a couple of moments. Adept gonna go about, the SCV is gonna try and chase that Adept for a little bit. A +1 attack coming through. As ByuN is on a very fast engineering base. That engineering base is super quick and just gonna go for the very early upgrade. Intrigued to see how much of an impact that has. See if that has, you know, is genuinely gonna come in and make much of a difference or so here. It's genuinely an intriguing question. Marines gather a couple of depths sitting down that ramp for a few moments as well. Going to be seeing the attempt to get rid of these Adepts. It's going to be successful. Now Hero's going to take the chance to dive in the main with the Oracle. There's so many low HP SCVs. Would have been great if we could have grabbed that, but doesn't quite work just there. It's going to be seeing a couple of gateways still coming up, so we continue to bring that through. Again, the +1 attack coming through on that engineering bay, medevac and the Cyclone coming over as well, and a couple oracles peel over to the sides. Just going to be able to activate through for a couple of those SCVs. The Marines going to get jumped on as well. It's just going to be seeing that going down too for a couple of moments. So again, a bit more damage being dealt. Medevac has the 2 Cyclones in it, so coming across the map does mean that you're going to have less in position to kind of deal with the Oracles and so. Pylon down there as well, trying to do its job of scouting stuff like this, but it's just a little bit too soon right now, unfortunately. So that is not exactly ideal. The stasis just going to come into play. The Cyclones show up, and we will begin to get some probe kills. I guess we'll see what we can do across the map to make up for this as heroes, see if this is going to work out or not. As Oracles continue to shoot through, that's 8 SCVs, so yeah, anything the Oracles just did, the Cyclones just did, the Oracles undo immediately. Now, the Cyclones are still going, actually, so both sides are just going to end up playing a low economy game here in comparison to usual. So there you go with that. The medevac moves around, a couple Cyclones dropping back down into play. Going to continue to move around. Medevac lifting back up. Moving back over for a little bit here. And we've seen 13 workers is obviously pretty serious, but Hero still has a 7 worker lead, so pretty big factor. We've seen the Cyclone locking onto a couple more probes, so again, a little bit more damage being done. A few of those workers continue to drop down. We've seen the Cyclone coming back through again. Again, another step over in that direction. Just going to be seeing 5 more probes. I mean, ByuN is definitely bullying Hero's economy this game. This is now 18 probes dead. Obviously, you could count for the 11 SCVs that died too. Just going to be seeing the these Stalkers continue to gather around as well, so they continue to move through for a couple of moments here. Continue to gather for the moment, so again we get settled in. Get set up for a couple of moments. The tank is going to siege. The combat shield, stim pack, and +1 armor is coming up as well. So all of that just continues through for the moment. So upgrades continue through. Continue to settle down. Just going to be seeing the Bioforce continue to come about as well. So again, a little bit of a look to see what else we can get up to for a few moments. Just going to be seeing the Bio getting straight across, now jumping in. The Stalkers get rid of a medevac. Good to get rid of the longevity on these units. That means the Stalkers actually get kills. They blink forward, looking for Marauders. It's going to be a trade out, but hey, we get rid of all the Marauders. An army on the bottom right, on the far right side still is going to be coming through. Stalkers will get the medevac. That's a full cleanup. That's definitely a big factor. Oh, the Stasis Ward going to buy you time as Hero as well. Hero's up so much supply. ByuN is being aggressive off of 5 racks and 2 bases once more, but I feel like it's not really working out for him, to be honest. Not in the slightest. I think we'll fire a few more shots. Stalker's taking a few more hits. Continue to come through. The Colossus Chrono Boost, next Thermal Lance coming in about our Bio. It's going to take the pylon out on the bottom. Army supplies are still in favor of ByuN, but given time here, Hero's getting better and better set. Stasis wards are still around. Colossus now in production, +2 in charge. All these things, as they get close to finishing, the better Hero is going to be. He's also got 2 Immortals already in the army, which we saw in the last game, how good Immortals can be at just kind of buffering up. Hero knows about this drop moving across here, because he revelated it. ByuN's just like, I don't care if you know about it. He just doesn't believe Hero's going to respect it, and it was a completely correct call. As Hero finally warps in, he just did not know. I can only assume he presumed this drop was going to turn around, so he did not pay it any attention. Because this was a very slow response. Now out of position on the front, as ByuN is going to push right up onto this natural. Probes have to pull. I mean, again, Hero is up against a very committed ByuN. All Hero really needs to do here is to find a defense. And I think he should just be okay, but he's going to lose 15 more probes. Tank goes down. Widowmine's going to blow some workers up as well. I think we don't hate that, though we do hate losing the Oracle. The drop in the main is still here as well. More probes going down. I think Hero is not going to have control of this in the slightest. Looks like ByuN is going to force a 5th and final game of this series. Marauder's still going down, getting cleaned up, but man, I mean, Hero's on the counter push where he's hoping he can do something with 2 Immortals, and I mean, to be fair, a lot of these ByuNs are low HP, so we're just trying to capitalize on that. Obviously, we've got the Stalkers with Blink availability. The Colossus and Immortals still have a lot of potential too, but you do have to go up this ramp, and there is going to be a difficulty of just vision up there. Now, Hero does have 4 bases. Remember that ByuN was a 2-base Terran? So Hero can rebuild the economy. He's going to re-establish control on his Robo. Another drop from ByuN. That's definitely something Hero has to be a little bit on top of here, otherwise it gets a little crazy too. Medivacs boosting straight into that bottom left side. These 3 gates still depowered as well, so that's production you're missing, but it's not like Hero can afford it as he needs to re-establish the economy right now. Losing more probes, this main base is just a problem. At least the top left base is kind of getting going as the Stalkers just take the chance. We get rid of the Medivacs. I mean, that's going to keep it a little bit more difficult for ByuN. The main Nexus is actually going to die, isn't it? So we lose the main Nexus. We've not been able to get control on these Medivacs. We do have these Stalkers coming up. I believe they did not use Blink already, so we're going to get that kill. ByuN might be about to scout the main for the top left, sorry, not the main, the top left base for the first time. I think Hero is offsetting a lot of the disadvantages he's playing with here. Like I say, that top left isn't minding a lot, but it's a few probes that could become an easy target for ByuN. That's the most notable thing, that it's a target. It's an extra position to attack. It's an extra place to pull Hero out of position as he might try and defend it, right? So that is the thing to keep in mind. It looks as though he finds it now, so he'll get the few probes, and the few Stalkers have to come chasing up. These units are low HP as well. We're going to start talking to the Medivac. I actually think just take the Marauders out here. We have the DPS for it. We're fighting at the front. The 2 Colossus are going to be difficult to get rid of. 2 Vikings only. These Widow Mines almost feel like they must hit, and they are going to hit an Immortal. They're going to hit a Sentry. No, just the Sentry. The Immortal there going to be okay for now. What do you give up? We're going to just blink away. Oh, no, we did not blink away. Prism showed up a second late for a lift as well. I'm not sure what happened there. Just a miscontrol in a hectic situation. Hero up in army supply, pushing through. The bunker goes down. The Zealots are going to start charging up as well, so we'll have a front line here with 2 Colossus, very defendable in the background as well. Important to keep firing onto those ByuN units. We lose the Colossus. No, perfect pickup from Hero. Super low HP on that Colossus as well. It's a 1 hit point Colossus kept alive for Hero to attack into the natural and to win the game. GG's, and there you have it. Alrighty guys, that is going to be it for us today. As Hero takes down his 3rd ever WardiTV Monday. He's going to be our first player qualified with the special seeding into the WardiTV Spring Championship as well. So a little bonus for him getting the win today. Congrats to him on that one. And Hero, looking good. ByuN with a 2nd place, and obviously him, Kira, and Solo will qualify into the WardiTV Spring Championship as well for their top 4 performance today. So congrats to those guys. We'll also be welcoming them into the WardiTV Spring Champs. Thank you so much for watching today, guys. I appreciate you all. If you've got a final sub in you, we are 2 subs away from 700 if you want to help us out there. I'm going to be taking a day off tomorrow. I'm going to be taking the day off. I've been streaming every day for the last 9 days or so because we did TLMC all week and so on. So I'm going to be taking a day off tomorrow. And then we, 8 days. Let's be fair, 8 days. A day off tomorrow, and then I've got a stream on Wednesday. I don't know what I'm doing on Thursday. Thursday's a question mark right now, but then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm 100% away. It's also the pig playoff, so you'll have stuff to watch. The week after, we'll be back, and we'll be casting every single day from March 17th until March 30th. So we have got big end of the month of StarCraft coming through, and then the Spring Championship will be starting in April as well, so that's also going to be coming up, and you can look forward to all of that StarCraft. So I'll not be seeing you guys tomorrow, but I'll be seeing you guys on the day after. What day is that? Can't remember. Wednesday. And if you're really enjoying, obviously, follow, like, subscribe, see when we go live to catch all of that. The other thing I was going to say is, obviously, if you want to watch more, we do obviously have a whole archive of live streams on the YouTube now. We obviously, as well, are still uploading best matches from the live streams into the YouTube 1 day at a time as well. So if you want more StarCraft, you can check out the YouTube channel. I'll put the link for that into the Twitch chat as well. And even if you don't watch on YouTube a lot, leaving a sub on the YouTube would be massively appreciated. Like I say, we're trying to aim for big things on the YouTube sub count this year, so help us out with that if you can. And with that said, guys, we will take our final goodbye. I'll run a set of ads on the outro. Those ads do help to support the channel, so if you sit through them, we appreciate it. And we'll be back, like I said, on Wednesday for more StarCraft 2. I'll raid someone up as well when the ads are done, so I'll see you guys on Wednesday, and I wish you guys a great rest of your day. Bye!